We got Nick O in the house. What's going on, brother? Long time. How you been? You just got back from vacation. You're a little under the weather, but you're here and ready to talk some football.
I am, man. Just got back, did a couple nights in Georgia and then about a week in Florida, a couple more nights in Georgia. Got to see some family there. Got to hang out with the Weiss family in Florida, a bunch of swimming and beach time, and very relaxing week. Super, super awesome spring break for us. A lot of driving, a lot of miles. I want to say something like 3,000 miles we put on, something crazy like that. But it's a good time, man. Good quality family time in the car. And had a blast. Tried to keep my fat ass out of the sun a little bit, not get too burned up. And we all took turns being sick, man. My youngest daughter started the first day. 2-3 days later, my older daughter, and then Ange, and then me. And soccer practice tonight. I'm yelling at a bunch of 6 and 7 year olds for an hour. So toasted my voice again, and hopefully y'all are all right with it tonight, man.
Don't get me sick through the fucking microphone, man. We're only like a quarter mile away. Me and Nico live really close. We're doing a little earlier show tonight because Nico's actually an adult that has a job and has to wake up in the morning. Unlike
4:30
anyway,
a.m.,
great show. Yeah, that's early. Great show today. We got a couple surprises. We're going to talk some 49ers. Nico has the pulse on the 49ers. I got a couple things planned. You have a couple things you want to talk about with the Niners. And then we're going to talk about some NFL draft NFL win totals that we like. 3 teams we like to bet the over on already. 3 teams we like the under on based on, where we perceive their draft's going to go, whether they're going to improve their team. Hop on these totals now. And also, I think I have one thing we want to do, make or break drafts. We both have 1 or 2 teams that we think this is a huge draft for them. Like, this is a make or break. It's not the Niners, I don't think.
Nope. Not even close.
Not the Bears.
Nope,
all right, I'm going to start you out with this.
Nobody in either one of those divisions, brother.
I got a new segment. You're going to love this. It is called Celebrity Mugshot of the Day.
What? Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America. Huh? Isn't this America? I'm sorry. I thought this was America.
All right. So this one's kind of cheating because it's not really a mugshot, but it might as well be. One of the funniest situations in sports, I think you know this guy, Bobby Petrino. Remember this shit?
Yep.
Remember this? Old Bobby Petrino. So those of you who don't know, Arkansas head coach, I think it was like 2010. And he was 50 years old. He was having an affair with his like 22-year-old like assistant or something, driving her around town on a motorcycle, like downtown, around the college, gets in a motorcycle accident, freaking breaks his neck, fucked up his face, and has to go into the press conference looking like, look at this clown.
Dude, that's awful. That's gross.
It's he got fired, and just what a clown. He was actually a pretty good coach. So what I'm gonna do is a couple times a week we're gonna do celebrity mugshot of the day, and whoever wins, see how long they can hold the crown. Bobby Petrino is the first one we're doing as the celebrity mugshot of the day, and then we'll do one in a couple days, and we'll just have like a hierarchy and see who can hold it for the longest.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you.
What a funny situation, man.
Dude, that's crazy. Did total tangent, but related here. Broken Lizard, right? Super Troopers made some classics over the years. Do you remember Slammin' Salmon, the movie they did?
I've never seen it, but it's supposed to be awesome. I've never seen it.
I just watched it for the first time. I don't know how I missed it, but 2.5 Men. There's a girl in there that Alan is dating. Her name's Candy, right? And she's like a ditzy big boob type in the show. I don't know who is all that familiar with 2.5 Men, but she was in there. And there's like I don't remember if it's like a Saganaki accident or exactly what it was, but like just burned her face, right? But like all the servers are in competition to see who has the best night. So she's going out there looking like Bobby Petrino, bro. Like honestly, watch the movie, pull some clips. Like it'd be a great side by side.
Yeah, all right, thank you. That's wild. You've actually seen a movie that I have not, Nick. You're not a big movie person, so I feel kind of embarrassed.
I just did it like a month ago, randomly stumbled on it, was like, what is this? We're watching this. Like, how do I not know what this is? And it was great, dude. It was a good flick. I appreciated it.
All right.
And then
it's Nick approved.
Another old movie I want to throw out there, man, in case people forgot how great it is, because I did. I totally forgot how awesome Money Talks is. This is such a good movie, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know that we have the awareness out there that we need for that movie. So clip some of these my little speeches out here, put them in the movie pod, and do a little digging over on that side. But I know some of the audience is deep on that, so that's about the best I can pull from old movie references that are relevant to me.
Love
recently.
it. I'll give you tip my cap to you, buddy. But the Bobby Petrino situation kind of reminds me. I know it's a different situation, but what's going on with Mike Vrabel? We've talked about this the last couple of days. I want to get your take.
Diana
Russini, she just resigned. Yeah, she resigned. And what's funny is her statement. I don't know if you heard her statement. Was she's like, you know what? I'm going to resign so all this talking and all this smoke can go away. Like all she's doing is saying, yeah, I fucked him. Like if she didn't, she wouldn't be resigning. She'd be like, no, this is a platonic friendship. We did nothing wrong. She's just like, fuck it. I'm out. I know I'm gonna get fired anyway. I'm out. And there is definitely some chicanery going on there, buddy.
I don't think so. I think everything's on the up and up. I think she's just getting out in front of it, man. I don't think they necessarily did anything
Really?
wrong.
Are you saying that with a straight face?
Yeah, I think it's all politics, man. I think it's bullshit. And I think whatever the media and everyone pushes out, like
why would she resign?
Because just to quiet this down, she'll get another job soon, dude. She'll be fine. I don't think there's anything to it. I guess we
have different takes on it, but I don't know, man. I think she's she's been on record like slamming her husband, saying he's just a regular guy, he's boring. Vrabel is on record saying, essentially, remember the "I'll cut my dick off" speech if they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And what he said is like he's not having sex with his wife. Like if you read between the lines, he's like, well, I don't need my dick because I've been married for 25 years. I'm saying you put both those statements together, and now you have a 42-year-old woman and a 50-year-old man who's an ex-NFL player. Guy's a stallion. You know he's a stallion. Like so I wouldn't want him alone with my sister. You know what I'm saying?
He's getting after the old yogurt slinger, huh?
Oh, dude, she's definitely. I don't know. So you give it like what's the percentage chance that they did something? You know, so like kind of like it's kind of like the Coldplay thing with the two CEOs. Like, what's the chance that this is legit for you? Is it like 10%?
The Coldplay thing was way more obvious.
Well,
dude.
right.
It was like 90-10. This is like 50-50.
Yeah. No, the Coldplay was 100% because their reaction. You know what I mean? Like they know they got fucked, and it's like they're going to a concert. Like they were trying to hide the fact they were both in the town because it was an NFL established event, right? Both of them were. But the fact that it's two
other people things, around, like. There's context, dude. And sometimes pictures.
In the pictures I saw, there was nobody. There was nobody at that pool, bro.
Because they focused on those two and not the other 4 people that were 10 feet away. Like, I don't know, man.
So they airbrushed. There was AI. They AI'd everyone out. Is what you're saying?
I don't know what they did, dude. I don't know what they did, but I'm 50-50 at best with that one. I'm not buying it.
Okay, well, 50-50 is still pretty high, you know. And like Mike Vrabel, he has no issues. He's fine. Like his marriage might have an issue, but like she has a professional career to worry about. I saw an article about like women saying that she's setting back women in sports like forever. Like even if she did do it, like whoop-de fucking do. People bang. Like it's not that crazy. You know what I mean? Like people do bang, dude. It's just,
what's the matter? Don't I turn you on?
I don't know what the problem is.
Well, would it help if you went back to thinking I'm your sister?
Like I'm some sort of white trash perv?
I'm your sister. I'm your sister.
Oh, you're my sister.
Oh, you're my reporter. Oh, you're my reporter. You're my sideline reporter, Diana. I need you, Diana. Sorry, Mike Vrabel. Apologize, but you know it's a messy situation, and I guess the bottom line is you can't get away with anything anymore because there's and especially if you're a celebrity. Like if you're normal, it's easier to, but there's still like cameras everywhere and like crimes and stuff. You're gonna get caught, but like there's just always people trying to like have a scoop, right? And like this is a juicy triple scoop of ice cream.
Like, show a little respect to the person you're with, and just be like, "Look, I'm out, deuces," and go do what you want to do, man. Don't be shady about it.
Do you find Diana Rossini attractive?
Not my style, bro. I'd rather do Mike Vrabel.
She's like, I feel like she's a girl that's sexier than she is pretty. You know what I mean? Like she's got them giant tits and like, I see some sex appeal stuff, but she kind of looks like a little troll elf. You know what I mean? She's not like beautiful at all. She's like 42. Like, I don't see the appeal. I feel like Mike Vrabel could do better.
Yeah. There's attributes that people look for that matter to them, and she doesn't check the boxes for me, man.
All right. Second little segment I want to do here is, you know what? Let's talk about the Niners for a little bit.
Sure.
I got a couple questions for you. Do you have anything you want to go into before I get to you? You had some stuff planned for the Niners. Obviously, you're super excited about this season. Obviously, you love the Mike Evans signing, and you're a big Brock Purdy guy.
I am, man. I'm a Purdy truther. I think people are sleeping on him. I think there's a lot of stats that you can pull that show he's a lot better performer than what people give him credit for. He's just never going to be able to shake the 7th round draft pick until he wins multiple Super Bowls, dude. He's not going to get the respect he deserves because of the draft position. And I don't care, man. People want to sleep on him. That's fine, dude. I love him. He's our quarterback. He's quarterback of the future of the Niners. I am squared away, quick processor, good completion rate. He's good QBR. He's solid, man. Players love him. I'm all behind Purdy. But my off the wall tidbit, besides the movie heat I was bringing tonight. See, it's been a while, man. So I got like a lot of pent up, ready to just at you, bro. You know, I'm ready to show you my old face.
Just like Mike Vrabel, dude. Vrabel had a lot built up, man.
I'm a UFC fan. I like MMA. I like fighting. It's probably my second favorite sport besides NFL football. College, I've fallen completely off on, dude. It's kind of gross how far college has fallen down on my list of things I care about in the sports world. But watching last week's UFC event, I don't know. It's on Paramount Plus now, so I feel like there's a lot more visibility to it. I'm hoping a lot more people are watching it. But I don't know if you paid attention to it, but Josh Hokett was the dude's name. He fought against Curtis Blades, and just a nasty heavyweight fight, dude. I'm talking like hundreds of punches were thrown, hundreds of punches were landing, wobbled legs, blood everywhere, busted noses, busted orbital bones, like fight of the year. Amazing. And he was actually a UDFA for the Niners in 2020 at fullback. Dude's got a wrestling and a football background and never played for the team, never made it past practice squad, signed with someone else, practice squad later, again, never made it on the team. But just the fact that you're getting picked up after the draft as UDFA, and dude is a big wrestler too. And he's got a set on him, man, like way smaller, doesn't care, just goes out and throws hands. And I tied him into the Niners a little bit with the UDFA thing at fullback, but it was a fight, dude. Anyone who wants to be entertained, go rewatch that, dude. It was amazing.
Yeah, I don't really watch MMA. It's not my bag, baby. You know, as I say, I watch a lot of football, which is about it. I watch, my fair share of porn, those two things, and some cartoons too.
Yeah, I like my cartoons.
All right, so let me pick your brain on a couple things, all things 49ers, because you're the 49ers guy. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's not raunchy enough for me. So Ricky Pearsall, man, what are we doing with Ricky Pearsall for fantasy? What is your pulse as a 49ers fan? Dude can't stay healthy. If he does stay healthy, like where do you have him? Is he a good wide receiver too, or is he just like a role player?
It's excuse me. It all comes down to health, man, is the big thing. That was the question. They might have took him a little high based on, his college statistics, but when he's healthy, when he's on the field, the dude's a performer. He's there. Purdy trusts him. He gets open. He runs clean routes. And he's the wide receiver too in San Francisco all day, behind Evans right now, because I don't think Evans has lost anything. So I'm not taking anything away from him, man. I'm not going to put no disrespect on his name and say Ricky Pearsall is going to challenge him. But as a whole, if dude plays healthy, he's, I don't know, man, 1,000, 1,200 yards, 8 tutties.
Okay, so you're in.
Yeah, and part of that
I still want to be in, and like an underdog, he's going like 94th overall. He's going like wide receiver 38. So I feel like that's really good value.
Yep, Jennings is gone. Kendrick Bourne left. Kittle's coming back from injury at his age, so you're hoping that explosiveness is still there. But Achilles ain't no joke. And CMC, you don't want to just run into the dirt. So outside of 49ers taking a receiver in the first round of the draft, I think Pearsall's got a pretty safe floor.
So like you mentioned, they lost Kendrick Bourne. They're most likely not resigning. Like Ayuk's gone. They're not resigning Jennings. So they're going to draft a receiver probably in day 2. Is that what your guess is?
Man, so the Niners absolutely draft one of their players that they meet with in their 30. Every team can meet with 30 different players before the draft, right? And every single year, their first round pick is somebody they met with, right? So we can narrow it down quite a bit. They've met with 6 different receivers that all have first and second round grades. So absolutely, in the first 2 picks, I think the Niners are looking at receiver. For me, it's edge with that first pick. I know a lot of people want to get the Trent Williams replacement, but you look what Atlanta did last year with Raheem Mostert as the head coach. He moved back into the first round to get a pure edge rusher again. We're talking the tall, lean dudes that do nothing but come off the edge fast. They don't set the edge. They don't stop the run necessarily. They can drop into coverage because they've got quick feet and long arms. And it was Pierce and I'm having a brain fart on the other guy in Atlanta last year. But
same. But yeah, Pierce is gone. But that was a good pick if it wasn't for the knucklehead shit and off the field stuff because he had 10.5 sacks.
Yeah, and so you saw Mostert do that with Atlanta. Like they moved back into the first round. They took 2 lean edge dudes. And there's nobody on the 49ers roster right now that fills that role. And last year in the draft, what did the Niners do? With the first 5 picks, they took defensive players. Robert Saleh was running the draft last year. And they put a bunch of talent on the defensive side of the ball, and they're going to do the same thing. Raheem Mostert's going to come in and say, look, I need
Raheem Morris. You keep on saying Raheem Mostert. You're such a Niners guy. Yeah, you're such a Niners guy.
My bad.
I wish you had Raheem Mostert.
I don't, man. Good call. Sorry about that. Good catch.
Okay. I was going to let it slide twice, but I can't let it slide a third time.
No. Total Freudian slip, man. My bad. But I think it's going to be, you've never seen the Niners take a safety in the first round or put a lot of value on it. But in Morris's defense, it's important. And I think it's going to be a safety or an edge rusher. And I was actually going to ask you because I'm so disconnected from college, man. There's 2 edge rushers that are being tied to them that I really like. And I'm wondering your thoughts if it's worth a first or a second for Malachi Lawrence out of UCF or Akeem Mesidor out of Miami. I think he's maybe the second rounder. I was wondering your take on each of those dudes and what do you think as far as a Raheem Morris defense type fit?
So yeah, I've been focusing more on the offensive side of the ball. As you know, that's where money's made in fantasy and gambling. They're both probably not going to be there in the second round. Like they were second round prospects until the testing process. And those dudes are both elite athletes. So I feel like you're going to have to trade up to get them. Maybe the end of the first round.
Yeah,
I know you prefer to get them in the second round. Right. Okay. That's in range. That's in range. But if you want to try to get them in the second round, you have to trade up to the early second. But those guys are both perfect for you because I feel like Mesidor especially seems like he's more of an impact player right away, where you guys are in win now mode, right? Like every year the Niners are in win now mode, and you only have a couple more years of Brock Purdy, cheapish, right? Like if he keeps on playing well, he's gonna end up being one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, he's already got a big contract, man.
Right?
He's already up there.
No, I know that, but I'm saying he's gonna want more money, and he's gonna want more money in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, potentially.
Look where the money's going right now. We just saw Alec Pierce make $30 million, dude.
Did you see where your boys hanging out this week? Caleb Williams?
If they're not, like,
do you see what he's up to?
What's that?
Caleb Williams hanging out with the Jenner sisters at Coachella?
No.
Yeah, what's it? Kylie Jenner and something. They both start with a K, man. I don't know. The younger ones. Can't remember the name.
Oh, what are they up to?
No, Caleb Williams was hanging with the younger Jenner sisters out at Coachella.
I'm getting
this dude's like he's out getting famous, man. Besides football, I love it. I mean, if he's hanging out with the Jenners,
yeah, good. I mean, you know what? As long as it doesn't distract him too much, yeah, that's big time. That's big time. Team Money has a comment. We'll go back to the Niners in a second. Should the Saints draft a wide receiver or defense? I think you're talking more first round, 7th overall. They should draft wide receiver because they got to see what they have in Tyler Shuck. Unfortunately, I don't like Carnell Tate, so like that's the pick at 7. So I'm going to say defense because I don't want him to take Carnell Tate. I think Carnell Tate is a early second-round pick. That's where you should go, not
where
7th
Tate's going to
overall.
go, don't
so
you? It's the writing's on the wall, dude. Have you not figured this out yet? Yeah, he's going to the Browns. He's going to go to the Browns. He's going to be hot garbage, man.
Yeah.
Just like every Browns receiver. It is meant to be. It is destiny. Like, sorry, Carnell, have fun, but that's your life now.
Well, he's my Quentin Johnson this year. I'm not as low on Carnell Tate as I was on Quentin Johnson, but like that would just like reaffirm like my hate because, and it won't even be because I'm right for the right reasons. I'm right because the Browns took him and like they'll ruin anyone. And I just don't think he's at elite already, and he's not a number 1. He's going to go there play alongside Jerry Jeudy with no quarterback play and terrible coaching. That ain't going to work,
Watson's back, bro. Look out.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson. So yeah, I would say defense, man. Defense is a safe choice, and there's still some blue chip players there at 7 overall. And I think the answer would be trade down. If you're going to take a wide receiver, why not trade down and take Jordan Tyson? Yeah, and get a couple other picks there in the 2nd, 3rd round. If you trade down to like the mid-teens, something like that, 15, 16, 17.
Yeah, they got a lot of
Browns
holes
do ruin everything, and I'm curious to see if any of us have them on I wonder if we have them on our list. I'm not going to spoil my list, but our over-unders we're targeting, and I think it definitely would be on the underside. Let's get back to the Niners, though, and CMC, you mentioned the workload thing, that they don't want to run him into the ground. That was your pro-Ricky Pearsall point, but it's Kyle Shanahan, and he just can't help himself, just like Mike Vrabel can't help himself. Sorry, Vrabel.
So bad.
What is his if he plays every game? If he plays every game this year, what did he get? He had 400 touches last year.
That's gross.
What is it? Is it 350? Is that Kyle Shanahan taking like a load off of Christian McCaffrey? Is it 20 touches a game only?
I think the problem or the elephant in the room here is the fact that it's every other year, man. Anybody that goes 350 plus touches typically struggles the next year, whether they stay healthy or not. They're not a focal point of the offense. They tend to not have the burst or the juice they had the year before. As hopeful as I am that things have changed, I don't see any way McCaffrey plays the whole year. If he's going to, you have to keep him below 20 touches a game. I mean, like 15 tops. I know the Niners have been tied to Arkansas running back. I don't remember his name right now, but
Mike Washington.
Yes,
that's he is Raheem Mostert 2.0. Mike Washington Jr. He's he's a one-cut runner. That's a size speed freak. That's exactly what Kyle Shanahan loves, especially as the ancillary running back.
And so I think if they go get someone like that, you've got somebody else you can lean on. But if they don't go get the right dude in the draft, there's nobody else on this roster to free CMC up. And he's going to get 350 touches again as long as he's healthy.
That's minimum, bro. Like that's minimum, even if they scale it back. And I think the best example of what you said is even if they don't get hurt following a 400 touch year, it's always regression based on physical ability and efficiency. And Saquon Barkley is the perfect example from last year.
I was going to say,
that's the perfect example because he didn't get hurt. And that was, a lot of that was offensive related, right? But it was also, Zeke's a great example. And I think the other guys just break down, right? And just don't stay healthy. And McCaffrey's an example of that in the past. The one guy that's broken the mold and for a very good reason is Derrick Henry. But Derrick Henry's not of this earth. Like Derrick Henry can literally handle 400 touches every year until he's 40. I'm literally convinced in that.
It's unreal.
Like last year, he was still great. I mean, it wasn't his fault. It was they didn't use him. Like maybe they were saving Derrick Henry for this year, Nico.
Do you think Tennessee goes and gets another generational running back with Love this year?
They probably should, man, because I want them to take defense. If they're not going to go Love, they got to go defense because, again, taking Carnell Tate, even if I was a Carnell Tate fan, which I'm not, let's say I was at 4, that's really high for a wide receiver. That's like it has to be a can't miss, which he is not that player. I'm sorry.
Crazy high for running back too, though.
Right, but I know Jeremiah Love's going to be a very good running back. Like I know he is, and the idea behind taking Tate is okay. This is essentially it's buying in on Cam Ward and going all in on Cam Ward. Same as drafting a left tackle would be. You're getting him more weapons. I can say the same thing about a running back. I know it doesn't seem like it's as important as an alpha receiver, but it's going to have the same effect on the offense because it's going to make Cam Ward's job easier. You're going to have heavier boxes. You're going to have more single coverage. You're going to have more predictable coverage when you have to play for it. And also, Jeremiah Love's elite in the pass game, elite as a pass catcher. And he doesn't have that right now. Tyjae Spears is fine, but he is a scat back. Like Jeremiah Love's a true 3-down back that makes the defense stay honest. And that's what you need with Cam Ward. Last year, the defenses were not honest.
What has Saleh been around, dude? What has Saleh seen? What has Saleh learned? From the Niners to the Jets. I mean, he went from CMC to Breece Hall. Like, the success in the run game and play good defense, I think, is Saleh's recipe. I think it's got to be Love, dude.
Yeah, or, you take an edge rusher. I understand both those things, but it just can't be a wide receiver, and it can't be that receiver because we just saw this with Marvin Harrison, right? Marvin Harrison went fourth overall. Right, well, they signed Wan'Dale to a pretty big contract. They have
bigger than
DK. They have Io Manor. Yeah, Io Manor, DK. They don't have a tight end right now. It's Gunnar Helm and it's Daniel Bellinger. They paid Daniel Bellinger a bag of money. So they don't have anything that scares you. And they have Calvin Ridley. Your boy Calvin Ridley still there. Who's fine. The thing is, if you draft, I feel like Ridley can be a 1B. I think Wan'Dale and him are both 1Bs. And if you have a dynamic running back, that's gonna make those guys better. And right? I like Tate isn't a 1.
I really do.
Yeah, and he's an X receiver.
And then you grab a tight end in the second or the third, probably third, maybe later, because you should go defense in the second to pair with Love and with Ward. Tennessee's looking pretty hot.
All right, a couple more things in the Niners here. George Kittle, we talked about this a while back, but not a lot of news on George Kittle. So I've been drafting him sparingly, but actually I'm above board, like 12% ownership on George Kittle, pick 120-ish. What is your take on Kittle's return? Like, on one end, they don't have to rush him back because they're, you guys are awesome and Tunges is great. Like, you don't need him.
They did bring Tunges back, which I love.
You also have a really hard division, and like, you could miss the playoffs in that division because the NFC North's also really good. So, right, and I'm saying that, and the Seahawks just won the Super Bowl. So, like, the best team in your division is actually the team that didn't win the Super Bowl. Like, I think we can all agree the Rams are in the best spot right now based on what happened in free agency and the trades they made. And like now they still have a 13th overall draft pick they haven't used, where the Seahawks have less draft capital and they lost some guys. And then the NFC North is going to have two or three playoff teams. So it's like the wild card spot in the NFC looks like 10 wins. And you have to face the Niners. You have to face the Seahawks twice and the Rams twice in a pretty tough schedule. So do you bring back Kittle earlier? Do you just kind of go based on what he says? I'm just curious if you're George Kittle, like, give me a target date. Is it week 10? Is it week 6? Is it week 8?
So it is a bitch of a schedule, man. Starting in Australia week 1 and then having to come back and then continue playing football from there. They got another game in Mexico City. So I don't know if you've heard this or not, but the Rams lobbied the NFL, dude. They were all, hey, Roger Goodell, can we play the Niners in Australia? And it was because the SoFi Stadium is just a sea of red, dude. It's a home game for the Niners. And the Rams don't want to host that. So they said, let's let our home game against the Niners be in Australia, level that playing field. And then now Shanahan's came out and was like, that's some bullshit. I know they said they wanted us in Australia because they're afraid to play us in their home stadium. Make them come to Mexico City. That's our home game, dude. Make the Rams come there. They want to make us travel one way. We'll make them travel the other. So I love the hate, man. I love the rivalry with McVay and Shanahan and both those teams. But dude, I'm a huge Niner fan, but I try and be real about it. They're not winning that division. Like, I just don't see it. I think the Rams are by far the best team in that division right now, and I don't think it's very close. So the Niners are hoping for a wild card. And like you said, you got Chicago, Green Bay, and Minnesota that are all going to be competitive. So it's one of those where, man, like you said, 10 wins, maybe squeaks in a wild card, but you can't take any games for granted. Week 1, like, why stretch Kittle to travel that far to do all that with Australia? But I don't think
that's off the table.
I don't think it is. What I'm hearing out of San Francisco is Kittle's going to be at training camp, and they expect him to be ready. There's the chance that he's ready for the start of the season. So for me, dude, put him on the pup and bring him back week 6. And I feel like that's a done deal. That's the latest he'll be back.
George Kittle is a maniac. I understand that, but Achilles in the playoffs. That's as late as you can injure it. I mean, that's actually later than most players because most players don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So like a week 18 is the latest they can tear their Achilles.
No,
And he's
I
also
get it.
33 years old, dude, right? 33.
And forgive me for not knowing, I should, but if it's lower, it's not as bad as if it's up higher. Like it depends where the Achilles tears. And his was like the better Achilles tear that he can maybe come back from a little bit quicker. But there is tons of news around the Niners right now that say it's not outside of the realm for Kittle to be ready for week 1.
All right. So what you're telling me is I should be drafting a lot more George Kittle in best ball because I was just saying week 8. And I feel like week 8 is still value. Pick 120, getting, if you can make it in the fantasy playoffs in best ball, you get him for the second half of the season, you get him for the playoffs. Like the upside of George Kittle there, you get your first 2 tight ends, your, second and third tight end, whatever it is to kind of fill in and almost pair him with Tunges too.
Yep.
So, okay. So George Kittle, you're very optimistic about George Kittle's return.
And it's not just me being a homer. It's literally what I'm reading and what I'm hearing from people that are very in tune with the team that say it's he could be ready to start. And I'm like, it could be, should be, like it's week 4 or week 6, right?
Well, okay. So a couple of the things you mentioned tie into my last point about the Niners. It's Brock Purdy's MVP odds. So with Kittle coming back earlier than what I was expecting, what I was hearing, that makes me happy about my bet I placed with Brock Purdy winning MVP. But with what you said that they're not going to win the division, there's a couple different stepping stones and criteria for an MVP. And typically they're a quarterback, which Brock Purdy checks that. But they need to be on a top 5 team in the NFL typically. You got to win 10, 11, typically 11 or 12 games, ideally 13 games and win your division, or have that like all-time epic Peyton Manning 50 touchdown season, 45 touchdowns, something like that.
There's also a whole bunch of recency bias in the MVP voting that like, what have you done late in the season? And I hate that, man. You saw that 2-3 years ago with Purdy. He was in the MVP conversation, had one bad game, and all of a sudden, like, he doesn't count, and it's like, it's Lamar now.
And that was actually, correct me if I'm wrong, that was against Baltimore, right? That was against Lamar. So it was like the double whammy of like you lost to the guy you're competing against, national TV game. And that officially, like you said, it threw him out of the hunt. He was out, even though like it wasn't that bad of a game. It was what, three picks?
Yeah, and
not
he was
game,
like,
but
MVP 1, 2, 3, right in that realm, and then all of a sudden, like you're 6 and it's over. And I'm like, dude, what about what he did to start the year in the first 10 games? Like, so there's some recency bias tied to the MVP. That what you do, your success late in the year, I think is way more important than it should be.
What do you think Brock Purdy's MVP odds are, Nico? I'm going to give you a little test here. What do you think they are? Or what do you think they should be?
I got no idea, dude. You're saying like, where is he on the list? Like, is he 6th?
You can go both ways. You can go both ways in terms of players. Like, is he 6th, 7th, 8th, whatever? Or what is the odds? You can give me either or. I have answers for both.
Man, shoot, dude, he's probably 9th or 10th. And
okay.
What's that?
Yeah, that's your guess. And I'll just give you the answers. So he is 20-1 right now for MVP.
I was gonna say odds are +5.
No, 20-1 is you put $10 to win 200, which that's what I did. But this is the reason I bet it, because the odds were pretty fair. I was guessing it'd be like 16-1, 17-1, but he is the 13th odds to win. There's 12 quarterbacks above him. Trevor Lawrence is above him to win MVP. What are we doing? Like, as much as I love Liam Cohen and the Jaguars, they have an easier path to win, like said 13 games, which is a criteria point, 12 games. But it's Trevor Lawrence. Like, yeah, you can have some rushing touchdown upside. He's better for fantasy than in his real life. And like, Trevor Lawrence is never throwing 40 touchdowns. I'm sorry, he's just not. And we just saw Brock Purdy post-injury, and not coming back from injury, but when he got healthy after the bye, was on pace for an MVP season. Like the Bears game, except for you take out the one Seahawks game, the end of the season, when that was rough, the whole team, your team just like died. Like literally your team was out of gas.
Yeah.
But like you take that game out of it and you start after that terrible Carolina game, then there was the bye. It was on pace for something like 45 touchdowns, 7 picks, 8 picks. Like that was the ratio. And it wasn't even that. It was the eye test. He was balling out. And this wasn't with a lot of weapons. Yeah, it was Juwan Jennings was your one. Ricky Pearsall was in and out of the lineup. George Kittle was there. He was finally back, but like you're going to have Kittle this year. So
yeah, and Kittle was playing through injury, and that's why he tore his Achilles, man. He was leaning on one side too hard, playing through an ankle injury on the other.
So you approve the 20-1. You think that's pretty smart money, right? Like this is also a bet that you can cash out.
I feel like absolutely, in a 20-1.
Absolutely,
20-1.
When you think about it, though, this could be a guy that after 6 weeks he'll go down to like 8-1 or 10-1 when he has a hot start.
Absolutely.
You cash out.
I'm always looking for Jack Doyle.
I love it.
Yeah, 20-1. I just couldn't believe it. I was like, man, I'm throwing $10. It's $10, and that's a nice, really nice odd payout. It's 18-1 on DraftKings and the 18-1 on Bet365, but 20-1 on FanDuel currently. And it's not even the 21, it's the 13th best odds. Like, how are there? He's tied to Kyle Shanahan. I know you have the tough division, but it's not like those defenses are that elite. I know the Rams got a better defense, but the Seahawks defense is not going to be what it was. There's just no way. They lost pieces, and
they did. They lost too many pieces. But that Rams defense is terrifying with the corners that they've added. That was their only weakness last year, and it scares me this year, dude.
They're not. Those corners aren't that good though. They're just really good compared to what they had.
Exactly. It's a huge upgrade.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to be like a top 10 defense though.
I think they will.
They're just going to be like good.
They upgraded their only weakness, dude. I like that defense besides their corners last year. I think they will be a top 10 defense this year.
Well, that's why they're the favorite to win the Super Bowl, which makes a lot of sense.
But like 11
somehow the Chiefs have the third. Yeah, somehow the Chiefs have the third best odds to win the Super Bowl. Injured Mahomes, no receivers. Like you have 2 first rounders, I guess. Congratulations, but like Andy Reid doesn't have the best track record of drafting weapons or even drafting first round players. He's better in the later rounds, and like we've also seen some of these coaches. He's getting a little long in the tooth, Nico. And like remember Belichick. His last couple drafts before he was out of New England, how bad those drafts were. Not even like the N'Keal Harry pick and some of the bad skill position players. Like he was whipping on a lot of stuff.
How many good receivers has Andy Reid drafted?
None.
I mean, that's where.
Well, Tyreek Hill, I guess, but like that was luck. I mean,
and Kelsey's done, dude. I'm not seeing anything out of him anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, Brock Purdy to 20-1. Place it right now, guys, because I feel like that's going to settle, especially with what you said about George Kittle coming back earlier than people expect. If that news comes out that George Kittle is going to be borderline ready for week 1, or at least not start on the injured list, and he might play week 2, week 3, like you said, I think that alone makes. And if they draft, a first round receiver, second round receiver, that alone makes Brock Purdy like 16-1 to win the MVP. So lock that in now. We're all about getting value on this channel. So. Let's move on. You know what? I'm going to hit you guys with the intro. You're going to love this intro, Nico. I've been taking shots at the guy for a while now and nothing against them, but, and then we're going to come back with some make or break draft teams. And then we have 3 teams each that we're placing these bets. And we like these bets, these odds, NFL win totals over, under 3 over, 3 under. Vrabel, the stick man. He's a stick man. He's giving it to Rossini. Maybe he's still giving it to his wife. He's giving it to everyone.
Everything.
I wish they'd just tell us everything, Nico.
They were both here. They were both inside me. Eduardo was in my mouth and Luther was in my butt.
Oh my God, no, don't tell me everything. What? No, what?
Damn it, Bonnie.
Eduardo who?
Sanchez.
Holy shit, tell us more.
Then Luther went in Eduardo's butt for a while.
Tell us less. Tell us less.
Then they both completed on each other. I was left out of the finale.
Jar Jar says, damn, 20-1. I might put a couple hundred on that. A couple hundred on 20-1. I was pretty convincing in my case, but I wouldn't advise like these future bets. I sprinkle. Maybe it's because I'm poor, but in general, there's so many things. Health goes in. There's so many things. There's also politics that go into these bets. So Jar Jar, if you're that flush for money, you should probably just join the community and hit up the Patreon, get in the Discord, play some fantasy leagues with us. How about that, Nico? Hop in you want to get the Dynasty League, Jar Jar? We have 1 spot left, guys. I don't know if you saw in the Discord, Nico. We're going to make it a 14-teamer. We have 13 teams right now.
That's hot, bro. That's hot. I did not see that. I'm very detached from the Discord. I apologize for that. I gotta get a little more involved.
Good. Well, it's not really football season, but
I love a challenge. Yeah. What so 14 teamer, did we settle on roster?
We did 2 flexes, 3 receivers. That would probably work. If we go 14 teams, we're going to take a flex away.
2 running
make
backs?
It 1 flex.
3 receivers.
2 running backs, 3 receivers. Yeah. If we have 14 teams.
1 tight end.
1 tight end. Yeah, pretty much standard fan tracks, full PPR.
No
get your ass in the Discord, Nico. I'm not giving you any more information. It's all on the fucking Discord. Son of a bitch. So right now we have 13 teams. In worst case, we don't get somebody else. I got Jay in because he really wanted to get in. Me and Storey or Ray and Chaz will just manage their own teams opposed to co-managing. But I would like to have all of us co-manage the teams. That'd be with Mouth and Beast. That's 4 of us.
Yeah, you got Tom together, right?
Yeah, it's be a good time. Anyways, Jar Jar, if you're interested, anyone else, if you're interested in general, just you join the community. I know it's not quite football season, but it is a good time to get in because it is cheaper now than it will be when football starts. I do want to shout out to the Patreon bros, everyone supporting the channel. Thank you guys. Appreciate you. Besides just supporting me, a lot of good perks, guys. Discord, like I mentioned, the community fantasy leagues, not just the dynasty. We have 5 or 6 redrafts we're going to do. You can hop in, play against us, all the hosts, play against the community. Going to be epic shit talking, respectful, hopefully. Guest appearances on the pod. You want to come and talk about Mike Vrabel being a porn star with me and Nico and pounding Rossini's tight little snatch. You can hop in here and do that with us. Free merchandise giveaways. I have shirts. I have hats, giving them away every single month, as well as the player prop bets. So, Jar Jar, you like betting? Here's the numbers, boys. 96 and 58 last year. 205 and 125. Even odds player props weekly, every single week. We're also going to have some NFL futures for the NFL draft. Me and Storey are going to cook up here in this next week. 10 plays. We went 7-3 last year, so we do pretty well on those. We're going to have those up in the Discord here in a couple days. Look forward to that. So, professionalfanatics.com. Let's go to the link in the description. One of them is the Dynasty Startup is one of them, Jar Jar. We need one more for that league. And then we're going to have, like I said, 5 or 6 redrafts in August. So those are available as well. But the Dynasty, this is a startup. This is actually the first. We didn't do any leagues last year because the streams just started during the draft season. But the Dynasty is going to be officially the first professional Fanatics league ever, and it's going to be a Dynasty. So I'm really looking forward to whooping everyone's ass. Me and Storey taking everyone's money, but feels like a really sharp room. And 14 teams, wild for Dynasty with deep rosters. It's going to be wild. You're going to be starting some bums, which I love. I love the Jake Tunges of the world, Mason Taylors of the world.
I'm going to be as hard as that league is, bro, the whole time.
Are you? You're pretty old. You still get erections?
Oh, that way more than Mike Vrabel, I'm sure.
Well, his is getting taken care of. So you wake up with morning wood or what? I've actually recently started waking up with boners again, which is, I haven't had wet dreams at least, but
dude, I've only had one of those in my entire life, which I don't know if that's
wet dream.
Yeah. Fucking freaked me out, man. Years ago, in my 20s, I just woke up with an oyster in my pants.
Oh, you pissed your pants.
Yeah. But dude, every day, literally every day. I can't roll out of bed, bro.
You break it. It's like a fucking pogo stick.
I'm gonna knock what's the road trip, right? Where honey, your boner, and he knocks the shit off of the shelf with it. What do you want me to do?
What do I do? Woman, cut it off? Yeah. Honey, your boner. He's watching the workout vids, like the chicks working out.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I got so many movie references tonight, Rob. I hope you're proud of me.
Yeah, you are. I am very proud of you. Not to be out of line here, Nico, and maybe you take this as a compliment or you think I'm a psycho. I see you as a man that has massive loads. Just a
I don't even know. They're always in somewhere. I got no idea what they're.
Well, they're dripping out. Jesus. So you've only ever, wow. Okay. We're learning so much here. Sometimes it's nice to bust all over, someone. And I'm going to leave this conversation because I have a lot of ways I can ask questions here, but I'm going to keep it a little bit respectful. We'll talk off camera, Nico. I'm going to FaceTime you after this. I'm being
gross.
Dar says, yeah, I get morning wood. I had to stop sleeping on couches. You know what? Dark Jar Jar's actually Nick O as well. So you guys are both Nick O. He changed his name because you're on the show and it's confusing. And like, dude, Ray for like 3 months thought that was you in the chat. He's always like
That's
Nico,
funny.
and I called him Nico as well, but he thought it was actually the Nico. Not
Oh,
saying
not the Nico.
he is actually the Nico. You know. Hey,
I
Nico,
put
why
my
don't you
last name on it on
show him
tonight. Did
your
you see
O
that?
face? Can you show him your O face?
Oh. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking
I might
about.
be showing her my O face. Oh. You know what I'm talking about. Oh.
Did you see? I put my last
Right.
name on my
What up?
my thing tonight. Instead of just says Nico, it says Nico Face. I put my full name on.
I did see that. Yeah, it's your full name. That's like your professional name here on this channel.
Yep, my proper name.
Anyway, Jar Jar, if you're interested, man, just hop over to the website, go to Patreon, sign up. I'll get you an email, get you in the Discord, and we could chat. And if you don't want to do Dynasty, you're welcome to do redrafts. Like I said, there's a lot of perks. I give back to everybody that's supporting the channel. So, are you ready to do the make or break draft team? I'm wondering. I think there's one answer for this, but we'll see if we have the same one. So I'm going to hear yours. You said you have one or two.
I got two. I got a hard time with these two, man. And I can even sprinkle a third honorable mention in. But for me, it's the Jets, dude. They got so many early picks. They struggled so much last year. They got a defensive-minded head coach that doesn't look like he had a good defense. Traded away some key pieces. And if they do not bounce back and make good picks with what they acquired from Sauce Gardner and from Quinnen Williams, they wasted those trades and they're fucking up and they're going to be a dumpster fire. And I think the Jets have to hit.
They're going to continue to be a dumpster fire.
You don't move Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams to get worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. So Gino, oh great, you went from the worst team to the second worst team. Like, congrats, but they got to do something, brother. The Jets are the one to me with. I'm off the top of my head, and I'm struggling. I apologize. I don't got notes tonight. 6 picks in the top 100.
Yeah, 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a third, maybe 2 thirds. They have a fuckload. You know, because they've been so bad for so long, but it's the continued garbage like that they're gonna go if they fuck this draft up, like you said, because they have so much capital and the guys they traded, which I love all the trades they made, but that's incumbent on them actually hitting on these picks. But you know how Groundhog's Day, like when the groundhog, I don't know how it works, but when the groundhog sees his shadow, it's like another 6 weeks of winter. Like it's like one of these things where if they fuck up this draft, it's another 6 years of being the Jets, right?
Absolutely.
Where like, they have an opportunity right now to turn it around and not be relevant this year, you know, maybe 6-7 wins, but build something, which they haven't been building anything. Like they were bad and the Zach Wilson thing happened. And then they tried to make a Band-Aid with Aaron Rodgers. And like it went from bad to worse. And like I feel like they kind of bottomed out. And now they hire Aaron Glenn, who's passing out at the fucking combine. Like optics are bad, records bad, rosters bad. Although I think they have some good pieces. That's interesting you went them because I was thinking about how to go about this. Do I go with a team that's on the verge of winning a Super Bowl or a team that's in the contention, or to go with a bottom feeder?
My other team's a contender. I went from one bottom feeder and one contender.
Okay, so I'm going to give you mine. Blake kind of spoiled it in the chat here because we think alike. Blake, shout out Blake, media manager in the channel. We love you, Blake. Mine's the Cowboys because they're a team that's kind of, you know, they have high expectations every year because they're the Cowboys. And they also have Dak Prescott, who's an elite quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. He has 1 playoff win, which is insane. It's similar to Tony Romo. Like, Tony Romo was great. Maybe not, like, all-time great, but, like, could and borderline Hall of Famer if things had gone well. And Dak's 32 years old, and he's very good, and he has 1 playoff win. They have 2 first-round picks. The Parsons trade, they can make the Parsons trade work if they make this draft work. And I feel like they're a couple pieces away. Also, that division is in shambles. Like, the Eagles have a lot of stuff going on internally beyond just the A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts thing. Also have the Jalen Hurts noise about him being uncoachable. I don't know if you read that article. Like, there's the fans are insane. Nick Sirianni's a terrible coach, but he won a Super Bowl. And, like, how soon is too soon to let, you know, to cut a guy, to fire a guy after they win a Super Bowl? I think he should have been fired last year because anyone could have won a Super Bowl with that team. I could have coached a team to a Super Bowl, okay? Like, as much as I don't even like Jalen Hurts, that team was fucking stacked.
How many teams in the NFL right now would take Sirianni over the head coach they have?
Like 6.
If that, dude. Yeah.
That's the point.
Exactly.
Yeah, I always said that when people rip on Matt LaFleur and they're like, Packers should get rid of Matt LaFleur. I'm like, Matt LaFleur would get hired by 27 teams right now. They would fire the guy. Like all but like 6 teams would fire, 5 or 6 teams would fire their coach. Sirianni, it's like, okay, the Jets, and the Jets. You know what I mean? Like it's.
I saw a guy ask Richard Sherman if Shanahan misses the playoffs this year, is he on the hot seat? And Sherman's like, no, dude, are you stupid? He's still on an iceberg. 20 to 25 teams would all absolutely fire their current head coach for a shot at Shanahan right now. Like, he won't be on the hot seat if he misses the playoffs this year.
Even if Shanahan was a bad head coach, when I just mentioned just head coach for the operation stuff, right? Which he's not. I think he's above average. I think that's not one of his strengths, but he's still an above average head coach. He's a top 3 offensive mind, if not the best offensive mind. It's him and Sean McVay and Andy Reid. So like,
but I
don't care if he was Aaron Glenn as a head coach. He offers something to your franchise because he turns water into wine. Like he makes Brock Purdy. You've seen him win games with fucking Jimmy Garoppolo went to a Super Bowl. End of story. That's Jimmy Garoppolo is not even the Hall of Very Good. Jimmy Garoppolo is the Hall of Very Average. And he went to a Super Bowl. They almost won a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I know. That's crazy, man. To come back full circle, though, to your comment, Dallas is a team I wanted to bet the over on strictly because of their offense. I like the fact that they had a chance to, I think, go over, 8.5 games they're at on DraftKings? And I think it's possible just with that offense. Now, if you have a good draft and you stack that defense, they're sneaky good. John Harbaugh in his first year with the Giants with some injury-prone guys, I don't know. Philly's turning into a dumpster fire, which they deserve because their fans can eat big bags of dicks. And
the Commanders, they're 7.5 right now, right? And like they have done nothing since that year. Jaden Daniels' magical rookie year, they've only gotten worse. And
it's like CJ Stroud was magical rookie year, right? Is it not? Are we not on the same trajectory as CJ Stroud?
Exactly. But the Dan Quinn, you got to have your head on backwards, Nico. When we talk Dan Quinn here, has mismanaged players with injuries. I don't think he's a very good head coach, and I don't know if he's really that good of a defensive coordinator anymore. But that defense is old. They don't have the thing is the Washington has no draft capital. They have a first rounder and a third rounder. They don't have a second rounder or a fourth rounder. Now they do have the 7th pick, but like their roster's barren. They have one receiver. Like, okay, they're banking on getting Brandon Ayuk. Like, Nico, you're a Niners fan. Like, that's not exactly like he's not a saving grace. And there's a big risk there in terms of relying on Brandon Ayuk to be available and be bought in. And like Jaden Daniels, I still believe in Jaden Daniels, but the NFL and these teams are too deep for Jaden Daniels to do what he did his rookie year. I don't know how. Yeah. I still don't know how that happened. I don't know how he went to an NFC Championship game.
Commanders need to move back, dude. They need to move back and get more picks. Is the only way. Brandon Ayuk will get moved after the June 1st date when his money can get split up between the 2 years, and go play with his buddy Jaden. And good luck, dude. All the more power to you. But I don't see the Commanders doing much this year.
Yeah, so the division, like I said, is wide open, and the offense. And you said if they get a couple defensive players, but you know what? Maybe they go 1-1. They reinforce that offense and make it. If they get another blue chip player on offense, whether that's an elite offensive lineman that falls, whether they trade down and get an offensive lineman, or they maybe, I don't think they need receiver, obviously, but just maybe they get Sadiq. Like, and I'm not a Sadiq guy. I'm just saying there's a lot of avenues that like they could make this offense from great to elite, like best in the league, them and the Rams. 99 fucking Ram style.
I love Sadiq, and I am terrified that the Rams are going to get him at 13. I think he's going to be a massive.
He's a project. Yeah, but he's a project, so I wouldn't worry about that for the Rams.
Man, he's not a Rams. He's Vernon Davis, bro. Look at his.
He will be. He might be in 2029. You know what I mean? Like not for this year. Like he's not a. He'd be great with like Miami. With a team that has a year or two to develop him. He needs to be developed. Thing with Sadiq. Anyways. Cowboys for me, make or break draft. Like make or break draft. Shout out to Mouse South in the chat.
Welcome to the chat, sir. The other one for me was the Chiefs, bro. And you touched on that earlier with Andy Reid not having very good drafts. They don't ever draft good receivers. They got an AJ out Kelsey. They got Mahomes that's can't do it all, man. Like he can't win it by himself. They traded away some good defensive players and then lost a couple pieces there. And they've got a pretty decent amount of picks coming in this year, pretty fairly high pick as far as I think Reed, the only time he's ever picked this high is when he took Eric Fisher and Patrick Mahomes, man, back in 2017. So they're picking way higher than normal. And if he hits, it's dangerous. But if he misses again, like Chiefs are getting sketchy, bro, especially in that division with a solid-ass Broncos team. And then the Chargers and Harbaugh bringing things up there with Herbert. Raiders, not a threat this year, but Kansas City doesn't have a good draft. They're going to be in trouble.
Well, let's look at their weapons. Now, I do love Kenneth Walker, but he's a running back. Look at their weapons. Rashee Rice, so much off-the-field shit, injuries as well with the ACL a couple years ago, and they're probably not going to sign him. They're not going to re-sign. Like, there's too much of a headache, and there's just been too much shit with Rashee Rice. And I feel like he's more of a product of the Chiefs in that role. It's almost kind of like a Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp role that's just super successful, and he's a fine player. But, like, do you want to invest in a guy that's a knucklehead? Xavier Worthy is all but a bust at this point. Like, I'm not saying it's over for him, but, like, it's close to over, and it's not going to be the guy we were sold coming out.
It's not going to work in KC. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that. It might work somewhere else because he's young enough, but it ain't going to work there.
It's a low chance. I'm not totally giving up on the kid, but, like, for a first-round draft pick, like, he's most likely a bust. And then Travis Kelce is a shell of his former self, and he has 1 year left. So, like, where are you left in the future at offense besides Kenneth Walker and Patrick Mahomes? And you also have a substandard offensive line. So, like, you need to hit on both these picks. You also have no secondary. Like, so there's so many holes in this Chiefs team, and, like, they had a breaking point last year of all the close wins. They won all of them, and you could say it was the officials. You could say it was Mahomes and Andy Reid. It was probably a combination of all those things, and that stopped happening. Now you have a deficit of talent. The talent's not there on both sides of the ball.
They need to draft offensive talent and outscore the other team, man. They got to start throwing 40 burgers around. Like, that's their only hope. You can't improve both sides.
And Chris Jones, like, as their best defensive player, I never thought Chris Jones was that great. And there was the play I always go back to.
Interested in football at this point too, if I'm being honest.
Do you remember the Trevor Lawrence scramble to win that game when he gave up? And he's just sitting there because Trevor Lawrence fell down, and then he's like, oh, he's not going to get the edge. And then, like, if he had just engaged in that play and had a motor, like, you know, any player, a Bosa maybe, any legit defensive player, he's not scoring in that play. Or at least he's going to get severely punished for scoring on that play.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, that's Chris Jones for you. He's always fucking jumping off sides. Like, those are crazy things. Like, he's making too many negative plays. And, like, the positive plays, the splash plays, the TJ Watt plays, for instance, aren't there anymore for Chris Jones. So, like, he's also a guy that's pretty fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't seem like the guy's going to age gracefully. So, like, you have 1 or 2 years left of Chris Jones being, if you even want to call him a lead anymore. So, like, there's just no talent on that team anymore.
I mean, dude, was it Chris Jones? You got Dexter Lawrence looking for a new team. You got the Niners brought Osa in from Dallas. Like, there's impact defensive tackles that become available. You don't need to just lean on and continue to overpay the one that you've had for a long time.
Man, with the conversation we just had, like, the fact that the Chiefs are the third favorite to win the Super Bowl, and, like, even if Mahomes didn't tear his ACL, that would be pretty wild.
I like
the fact that, like, we don't know if he's playing week 1. The fact they signed Justin Fields, which I think Justin Fields could win you. He can go 3-1 possibly. I do believe that, just because Andy Reid is that level of tactician on offense.
When you saw Fields win in Pittsburgh, you saw him be competitive in New York with a sleepy Glenn.
But that's not like a ringing endorsement on the third best team to win the Super Bowl. You know what? Justin Fields can, like, keep the ship afloat. Like, that, there's a lot of question marks that they're just like Chiefs, because they know people are going to fucking bet it, and it has been a good bet. You know, at least to win the AFC has been a good bet in recent history. But that division's also wildly improved. I mean, also it was awesome last year, but it's a good division. You're out of that division.
Chiefs can eat a bag of D's. Phillies fans can eat a bag of D's. That
division though is tough.
I want to start a new segment called "Eat a Bag of D's" with Nick O, and it's the team of the week that I want to be like, they can eat a bag of D's.
I like it. You can say dicks in this program. You can say fuck. You can say piss. You can say shit.
I know. And this is that. You know how I'm wired, bro.
Jeffrey says, I think the Chiefs need to talk Justin Fields on into moving to receiver. It's too late in his career for that.
Replace Kelsey. That's your best bet.
No, dude. He's not big enough. Like the only way this would work, if you're talking about moving him, is a Taysom Hill level gadget guy, right? That's the only way it works. Like that could make sense because
what about
he is like a Taysom Hill, but he's a way better quarterback than Taysom Hill ever was. Like he has a way better arm.
What about the Arkansas quarterback?
Taylon Green.
Yeah, dude, freak ass athlete, right? Bring him in and make him run some of that shit.
So this is an interesting call and a good point here by Jeffrey. Terrell Pryor did it later in his career. He had some decent years with the Raiders, but Terrell Pryor was like 6'5". You know what I'm saying? So like that plays at wide receiver. Like Justin Fields is 6'2". And I'm not saying 6'2" is small. I'm saying you got to deal with all the raw stuff that he's going to be raw at the position. And
yeah,
he's not like
Smith you need to be 6'2", bro.
But you get what I'm saying? Like Pryor was a freak. Like as a wide receiver, he's a freaky prospect because he's 6'5" and had 4.4 speed. Like Justin Fields is just another 6'2" guy that has 4.4 speed. You know what I mean? Like there's a difference there. 6'5", 4.4 speed at 210, 215 pounds is rare air in the NFL. Justin Fields, yes, he's an elite athlete at quarterback and a pretty elite athlete in general. As a wide receiver, he's a pretty regular athlete. Would you agree?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to blow the socks off anybody, man. And he hasn't been running routes his whole life. Like he's going to get jammed up, dude. It'd never work.
I think running back makes more sense than wide receiver, right? Like, but he would get hurt, dude. He would get hurt. These guys, like running backs, are built differently. We don't understand like how thick these motherfuckers are in their lower half and how they've just trained their entire life to have tree trunks and strong ankles and like, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of things where like Justin Fields has struggled to stay healthy as a quarterback.
If you choose to be a running back, you are mentally unstable.
Well, Chris Brazzell does suck. Thank you, Blake. In Terrell Pryor, the thing
Niners had one of their 30.
You don't want him. You know what? I would actually like that spot for him because it's Kyle Shanahan, but Chris Brazzell, his profile is it's just like all the other guys. Now he is freakier than the other guys, Jalen Hyatt, and I think we went through the list. Juwan Jennings is the best Tennessee receiver they've ever had. That is not a ringing endorsement because Juwan Jennings took 4 years to break out. It was a fourth-year breakout, fifth-year breakout.
An elite quarterback prospect coming into college too, and look at that. Like dude had to switch to receiver, and then was the best they had.
The idea of Brazzell is elite. Hey, the idea of Jalen Hyatt was also elite because Jalen Hyatt ran a 4.35 at 6'2", 6'3" mouth. He was a lot skinnier. Yes, he's just going to get overdrafted for me. If Chris Brazzell was a 4th-round pick, I'd love it. He's going to go in the 2nd round, and if the Bears take him, I'm going to be pissed. Although a landing spot, who's that?
I like Boston.
He's a very safe floor play. I feel like he's an NFL player. I don't know. I'm a little bit lower on him than consensus, but he's definitely an X receiver, and there's not many of those in this draft. He's huge.
Yeah, I like his. I think he's tough, man. I think he runs hard. I think he goes after the ball, like at the point of the catch. Like, I like him, dude. He's one of the guys I really appreciate coming out. Ooh, I just saw someone's comment talking about Lemon. Man, that dude's a bum. I don't want Lemon. He's a lemon.
Yeah, he's. I'm not as high on him as most. I like some of the later guys, but question about Juwan Jennings. So I know he's not going to come back to your team, the Niners, but like, what's going on with Juwan Jennings? Does this have a lot to do with like the on the field antics? A lot of these guys have off the field stuff, which is problematic. Like Juwan Jennings, I know as a fan of the Niners, it's probably not as big of a deal for you because he's on your team, but the grabbing guys' dicks and shit, like talking shit in the field, like he's a problem on the field. And
no, I don't think that has anything to do with it at this point. I think it's just literally his production, man. The guy is so hit or miss, and it's very specific circumstances when the play call is really set up to open him up is when he's there. Like, oh, you made the catch on 3rd down when you were supposed to, and you were wide open and everything was schemed for you. That entire formation in that play call was set up for you to be open. Good job. You caught the ball when you were open. Like, people don't give a shit about that in the NFL. And his ass is like, I need 20 million plus a year. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. No. I didn't want Jennings for the money that he wanted. I didn't want him for 15, dude. I was more than happy to let his ass walk.
Well, the disconnect is the reports are he wants 20 million. And also, like, he was marred by injuries last year, not just like it was like 4 injuries. It was like ribs, ankle, knee, hamstring. Like, it was all body.
I'd have rather brought Kendrick Bourne back than Juwan Jennings, personally.
Yeah. I like Kendrick Bourne. Peasy, Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver 1. Jeffrey thinks Mekhi Lemon's the best receiver in the draft. I don't have my official rankings. I obviously like everyone better than Cardinal Tate. That is my lemon of the draft, if it makes sense. He's a lemon. But I prefer Concepcion over Lemon. I think Lemon's a really good floor player. I think we're all getting enamored with St. Brown and the USC ties, and like, and the crazy thing is St. Brown was a 5th round pick, and now it's gone the other way where it's like, well, St. Brown did it. They're similar players. Like, he's a surefire top 10 pick. He's small, and
KC's
he's
been tied to the Niners a lot, dude. I've heard a lot of talk about KC to the Niners at 27, and
he ain't gonna make it that far, brother.
I have no idea. I don't live and breathe college no more.
He's screaming. He's screaming up. He'll probably go like, I guarantee you he goes top 20. That's a bet I want to make if when they drop his line. And I've been like saying he's going to go to the Dolphins for a while now. I think the Dolphins, that's a perfect fit because they have to replace both Tyreek Hill and Tyreek. Well, it'd be good for him for fantasy though. You know what I mean? Because you have no one there.
60% of their money is fucking dead money. You don't even have half of the money the whole rest of the league has to spend on a team or a roster this year. Dude, they're hot garbage.
It's a money issue like Tyreek. We were talking about Juwan Jennings, because he wants 20 million. And I think he's more of like a $12 million player, or a really short contract. He wants both. He wants like 20 for he wants like 4 years, 80 million. Like, he should get that if you think about what some of the other guys had made. Alec Pierce, Alec Pierce is an ascending player. Juwan Jennings is a descending player.
I think the Niners were like 4 for 60 is what they were talking about with him, dude. And he said, no, I'm going to go test the market. And now I'm like, fucking congrats.
That's a Le'Veon Bell move. Like, just take the money, brother. Like, take the money. Mal says, by the way, Tyreek to the Giants, heard it here. It was reported on Fireside Giants podcast. They are close to a deal. Mouth has been saying Tyreek to the Giants since the end of February. So I got to shout out Mouth for sticking. He was saying this way before anyone, and then in turn I was saying it because I heard it from him. So I feel like I'm smarter now. But that makes a lot of sense. They need a guy like that because that would make Malik Neighbors' job so easy.
Yeah, they need somebody opposite of Neighbors, man. And losing Wandale doesn't help, and they got nobody else there at receiver. I'm with you,
100%. And got to shout out Miles South. He just got done recording 2 shows. They do 1 show a week usually. They're doing 2 shows this week. NBA playoffs is kicking off. We got some thunder in the background. Might have a tornado here, so we'll see if we can continue the show. We're gonna stay on as long as the internet allows it.
Brother. My family might come down and
you
join
are good.
me.
Anyways, shout out to Downtown Sports, guys. Link in the description for that. 23 platforms. They're now on YouTube. So just search Downtown Sports. There's like 4 different Downtown Sports, but it's the good one. I'll say that. They've had Ian Eagle on their show. Yeah, I got you. Downtown Sports. They talk more real life sports than fantasy, but Mouth knows his shit. He's been on this program many times. You're also going to see Mouth South in the program tomorrow night, guys. We are talking running backs. We're going to go through Mouth's top 10 running backs ranks. We've done quarterbacks. We've done tight ends. Now we're doing running backs this week and wide receivers next week. So tune into that show tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central. But also, please check out Downtown Sports. Where sports comes home. You can't go wrong. Great program. Great guys. And we appreciate their support. So I want to, get you guys watching their show and just give it a listen, and you will you'll keep on tuning back in like I do. I watch a lot of stuff, but I find time to listen to Mouth's show up there with Matt Harmon because Mouth knows fucking ball. So anyways, he's taking a little pee-pee. Jeffrey says he seems like a Steeler player. I figured the Steelers would be all over Juwan Jennings. They all play dirty. That is a Steelers player. But I think when they made the deal with Michael Pittman, like that would be the Juwan Jennings role. So like you also don't want 2 slow receivers in Jennings and Pittman. And like the money doesn't work either. They could draft somebody. They have enough weapons now with their tight ends And they might take a day 2 receiver, but I don't know where Juwan Jennings is going to go. I mean, he could still go to the Commanders. That could be a spot. Maybe a team like the Panthers might want to get a veteran in there to play with Bryce Young. We got Big Ray in the chat. That's what's going on. Big Ray says hello. There he is.
Big
There's
Ray,
Meat Sweats.
body
Hello,
with
Meat
a
Sweats.
body. What up?
How you doing, buddy? He does have a body. Number is about 12 million for Tyreek Hill. It's probably a 1-year prove-it deal. Everyone wins there. And, you know, Jackson Dart isn't the most polished quarterback, and he's still really young, erratic. He has a huge arm, and he extends the play. So those are 2 things that Tyreek Hill can thrive in. And where you're getting him in best ball right now is free. It's literally 15th round. But this would be more of a good real-life fit than fantasy fit. You know, I could see the appeal for fantasy as well, but this is just about, like, him being a big part in almost not a sacrificial X receiver for Jackson Dart and the Giants, but a guy that just can take the top off the defense you have to account for. And, like, it's just going to allow Isaiah Likely to just have all those underneath routes. And then you're going to have Malik Neighbors just lining up all over the field, which I absolutely love for fantasy. And I'm all about Malik Neighbors. As long as I can get a positive report on Malik Neighbors, like you said about the Kittle report, about him going to training camp. Mm-hmm. Because think about this. You're trying to say that George Kittle might play week 2, week 3. And he tore his Achilles in the NFL playoffs. Malik Neighbors tore his ACL, and it was a pretty nasty one, but it was like week 5. Like, that's so far before, and he's so much younger. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So he should be fine.
He should.
Yeah.
We talking about the Giants, brother. We got to transition into our over-unders, and spoiler alert, I think the Giants go under 7.5 this year.
You're going under.
I'm going under 7.5. I don't think they double their win total from last year. I don't think they've done enough, and I don't think Harbaugh is enough of an influence to get them to 8 wins.
Okay, people love them, man.
I know.
What if they have a good draft though? So you're saying you don't trust their draft?
Their ownership sucks. Their GMs, I mean, last year had a good draft, right? I mean, you brought in Dart, you brought in Scadaboo. I'm not taking anything away from that. But as it stands right now, I struggled to find a third under, and they were my third under. And 7.5 just feels like a big number. How many teams double their win totals from the last year when they sucked? And then the injury concerns there with Neighbors and Scadaboo and Dart all are injury concerns. I like the weapons that they've brought in. I like the Likely signing. They've got an elite defensive line, but I think one of those guys gets moved in the draft, whether it's Thibodeau or whoever it is. Dexter Lawrence is asking for an out. I don't think there's enough to say they're going to have twice as many wins as they did last year.
So you don't believe in Jackson Dart? Is that also part of it? Because it has to be, because if Jackson Dart's definitely better for fantasy than real life and winnings, but you know, they were scrappy. I can't believe they lost that. Their season ended when I know they had no hope last year, but they lost that game against the Broncos. They blew out that big lead. Like, that was the season, but they were trending. They beat the Eagles. Like, they were playing good ball. And with Brian Dable in general, they were playing really good ball. Now he is gone, but so you're not really buying into Jackson Dart is what I hear as in terms of an NFL player quite yet.
Part of it's injury, part of it's maturity, part of it is I struggled to find a third team to pick an under on, man. Vegas and DraftKings in particular did a great job at setting lines this year, dude. And I had a really hard time with it. So I don't love that one. Yeah. That was my third one. And I think logically it doesn't fit with what we know historically happens in the NFL. You don't see a lot of teams double their win totals year after year, but Harbaughs have been some of the assholes to do it. I mean, you've seen Jim come in and flip the Niners. You see him come in and flip the Chargers. Like, you can see John come in and flip the Giants, and they have a great draft and a great defense, and I'm wrong, dude, and they go 9 or 10 wins, but I doubt it.
I struggle with the unders a lot more than the overs as well. I'll do my third as well. This is the one I'm least confident in. It's Jacksonville, 9.5. Now, that division isn't great, but I do believe that Tennessee is going to be frisky this year.
Ooh.
Houston's defense is elite, and I'm pretty low on Indy. So that's one of the issues. I'm so low on Indy that I think that the Jaguars are the favorites. They should be the favorites. It's kind of co-favorites them in Houston. But 9.5, this is a Trevor Lawrence thing. The fact that they don't know, like, they traded up to get Travis Hunter. They don't know what he's going to play this year. Now he's a cornerback.
They just had a report.
But they didn't draft him to play corner. I'm just saying that's an example of, like, that was a bad decision. So, like, I know it's just one decision,
He's going to have a few gadget plays on offense is it, dude.
Right. He's like Deion Sanders is what they're going to say. He's going to be like the Deion Sanders with the Cowboys, right? Where he comes in on big situations. They have design touches. But Brian Thomas, I love Brian Thomas, but I love him like in terms of how low everyone is. I'm still higher on Brian Thomas. The thing is, it's like there's the trade rumors. Like there's a lot of just speculation about this team. I love Liam Cohen, but there's hard for me to pick a third under, and 9.5. I feel like 9 and 8 is pretty much what I expect them to do.
Yeah.
And losing ETN, like I don't think Bashal Tutin's ready to be a lead fantasy, but real life, not great. And Chris Rodriguez, like their wide receivers are fine. I don't trust their offensive line. They were good last year, but are they going to stay the same? It's just 9.5 for the Jags. I can see Trevor Lawrence going back into a pumpkin.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what it is with me and these Jags receivers, man. I love me some Calvin Ridley, and I love me some BTJ. And I felt I got robbed so hard last year. I drafted him, and I still am higher on him right now than I should be. I don't get it. I don't understand my love there, but it's gross.
What's funny is I was my least drafted player, and I say this because I had 0 shares of Brian Thomas last year, 0 for 36. That was my most faded guy in terms of
That's
the pod,
wild.
and obviously the numbers. And now I think Brian Thomas is probably going to be my most drafted player because he was 13th, 14th overall last year, ADP, which was insane. It should have never been that high. And now he's going in the late 60s. He's going in the 6th round, dude. Like he should be a 4th round pick. He should have been a 3rd round pick last year. Yeah. He should be a 4th round pick this year. It shouldn't like the pendulum should not swing that much. Why? Because Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington. I love Parker Washington, bro. And Jacoby Myers is a consummate pro, but Brian Thomas is a former 1st overall pick that's going to play a lot of snaps, and he's explosive. He's explosive.
So much of what we do and what we love, brother, is recency bias in the actual NFL and in fantasy. So,
yep. Who's your second?
Recency bias. My second under is the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to struggle.
11.5, huh?
11.5. I think they're going to struggle for 12 wins. I think it's a reasonably tough division. I know there's a lot of turnover in that division. And there's a lot of new coaches. I know Baltimore's got new coaches. So I don't know exactly what to expect from them. I like Lamar, but you saw Lamar struggle early in his career with the offensive coordinators he had. And when I'm having a total brain fart, the dude who went to go be the head coach, that was his coordinator, Monken.
Your guy, Todd Monken. You love him.
I love the Monken signing. I was all over Lamar when Monken came there. And now I just don't know. With Minter coming in as head coach, I struggle to see the offensive path. I struggle to see the light for Lamar. You've seen his receivers be inconsistent at best. You saw Likely leave. Henry's another year older, even though he's an alien, and we've talked about that. I'm not discounting him. Defense is solid, but man, 11.5 is just too rich for my blood, dude. I don't think so. I think they're a 10 or 11 win team at best.
It comes down to the fact they could have an amazing year and win 11 games and you win the bet. Like you're not even betting on injuries and like regression. Like 11 is a really good. That's a playoff team. That's probably a division winning team. 11. Yeah, I'm on board with that one. I'm a little scared of the every other year Lamar. That's the MVP Lamar. You have a pretty fresh Derrick Henry because Harbaugh refused to use him last year. He played every game. You have fresh Derrick Henry who never ages. And they got to get another weapon in there. And losing Likely is going to hurt. And Sadiq, I still feel like Sadiq's a little too raw, but that's a nice spot for him to be the ancillary piece there and kind of the move time with Mark Andrews.
Like my age, right?
Andrews, Andrews is actually, he's only like 20. He's only like Andrews is only like 29.
Aaron Rodgers. I understand that. It was a joke.
Andrews is only like 29, but we think he's like a million years.
I want to talk to Samson. Climb to the moon like that bitch Alice Cram.
So who's your two?
My next one. My two is the Raiders. Now this is interesting because the Jags were minus 140 at 9.5. I didn't like that. I didn't bet that one. This one's plus 125. It's the Raiders under 5.5 wins. So
I like it. I like it. And I cheated a little bit, man. My three unders were all minus. I should have put that out there, dude. Giants are minus 125. Ravens are minus 145. to get plus on the Raiders with a Cousins/Mendoza quarterback story in that division. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful.
I'm not sold on Mendoza as an immediate, like, Andrew Luck level impact player. I like his future. I just feel like he's not prepared to the NFL. Me and Mal talked about this ad nauseum in our quarterback show. 6 snaps under center in college, which is insane.
Like, when's he taking over?
I have no idea, but I still think day one. And we're all over the board with the host in the show. What do you think?
No way.
So Storey thinks day one. I think
day one.
Well, why are you? That's okay. That's also the reason. If they start Cousins sucks. He's terrible. Like, he's done. He has no weapons besides Bowers. So that's another reason. I prefer Mendoza. I think Mendoza rookie year is better than Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that's a fucking strong take, brother.
Dude, Kirk Cousins has no athleticism and no arm anymore. So in his mind was never that. He has one playoff win. Like, when did Kirk Cousins become a god? He's really good at making money, right? He's good at talking shit in the tunnel. But it's Kirk Cousins, man. He's done. He's done.
I love it.
Like, he's done, man.
So you think week 5, 6 better with Tua than they were with Cousins?
I think I know what Kirk Cousins is at this point. He's bad. I think the Kirk Cousins is a safer option. We know what we're getting. I think that Tua still offers some upside. And I as much as I hate Tua, so it's crazy for me to say that. I feel gross saying that.
No, you're grossing me out, dude.
No, it's true. There is more upside with Tua. He's 20 and he's 29 years old, dude.
So bad.
Dude, they're both bad.
Tua is not better than Cousins, brother. You are so twisted.
No. Listen. Be a backup quarterback, and let's say he has to play 4 games in the middle of the season on a bad team. Let's just call it Oakland. Give me Kirk Cousins. If I'm bringing in a guy to potentially be a starter all year and, like, I have to win the most games, he could take me to some sort of promised land. I'm going to say some sort of promised land. It's Tua.
So
there's no promised land with Kirk Cousins, dude. He's won 1 playoff game in his prime. All those years in Minnesota.
No. The promised land is literally going to heaven. His Christian ass, straight edge ass, that's a promised land. Maybe he's going to save you. But besides that, Cousins or Geno? Who should the Raiders? Should they have kept Geno or should they brought Cousins in with Mendoza?
Well, you can't have Geno because he's flipping off fans, and like he wore out his welcome. Geno's done. Like
Geno sucks.
I want Geno over Kirk Cousins all day, though, dude.
So let's say Caleb Williams doesn't exist. The Bears need a quarterback. You can have Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa, or fucking what's his face out there, dude? With the Jets.
Geno,
yeah. Who are you gonna take?
I want Geno because Geno's younger, more athletic, and a bigger arm. I'm just saying, like, Geno, again, Kirk Cousins 1 playoff win. What the fuck are we doing, dude?
So who's two? Tua or Kirk?
I'm taking Tua. I'm taking Kirk last.
Oh.
He's done.
Oh,
I hate Kirk Cousins.
I hate the way you talk to me and the way you cut your hair. I hate the way you drive my car. I hate it when you stare. I hate your big dumb combat boots and the way you read my mind. I hate you so much it makes me sick. It even makes me rhyme.
The disrespect for the Kohl's sponsor that Kirk Cousins is.
Dude, you're disrespecting me by like sucking off Kirk Cousins. He has 1 playoff win. I know Dak does as well, but Dak still has some career left. Kirk Cousins' career is over. Like, he's a backup. End of story. I don't care what his contract is. Let's get to a couple comments here. David says, if you had to let one wide receiver go, Dynasty League, no IDP, who would you drop from these players? Dante Thornton, Tesla, Io Manor, Coker, Trey Harris, Travis Hunter. It's easy, Dante Thornton. Like, it's not even a debate. It's Dante Thornton, dude.
Hunter's probably not a receiver, but outside of that, Thornton.
But I'm looking for upside, though. This is the last bench spot on my bench.
Yeah,
like,
I'm talking Thornton.
Dante Thornton's a Tennessee receiver that had like 60 career receptions in college. It might be lower than that. And had like, what did he have? 16 catches as a rookie. And they're bringing in other pieces. Like, no way. Dante Thornton's gone. Tesla is on the Lions. He only catches touchdowns. Io Manor is a monster tied to a young quarterback. I love Jalen Coker. Trey Harris is a second round pick out of And Travis Hunter was the number 2 overall pick in the draft. Like,
Lazy
even if
corner.
this year, and the thing is, okay, guess what? They'll probably put Travis Hunter at corner. Travis Hunter's not a good cornerback. So they're going to put him out there. He's going to be missing tackles, missing assignments, and also getting hurt because he's a fucking tiny dude. And they're going to be like, wow, I guess we move Travis Hunter back to wide receiver. This is for next year. This is for 2027. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's Thornton.
And also, I'm going to be on record saying that if Travis Hunter plays, let's give him 10 offensive snaps a game, right? I think Travis Hunter, you think it's less?
5.
Okay. All right. This is close, but if they give him 5 offensive snaps a game, that is 85 snaps in the year. Let's give him 100 snaps in the year on offense. Okay. Can you level with me?
Sure.
I think Travis Hunter outscores Dante Thornton in full PPR with 100 snaps on offense. That's how bad Dante Thornton is, bro. He also has Kirk Cousins throwing the ball, apparently. Get the fuck out of here.
You're not wrong, brother. I'm in. I'm with you. I agree. Second.
Ray, we're talking under. We're talking under for the Ravens. Or sorry, under for the Raiders, and it's 5.5, not 7. So yeah, we know their division, and we're all under on the Raiders.
Yep. So my next under. You ready to move on?
Let's see if I'm missing anything. Jonathan, you like that all-time epic Kirk Cousins yelling?
You like that? I love Cousins. I love that one, dude.
Big Ray is pissed at us hating on Cousins. I don't care about Kirk Cousins. Sucks. He is done. I mean, have you watched Kirk Cousins? Like, he can't throw the ball anymore. He also can't move anymore. So, like, those are two important. Neither can Tua. The thing is, Tua can't move or throw anymore. But Tua, I've seen Tua be good more recently than Kirk Cousins.
I think
and
everybody
Tua is
you
younger.
talked about is a terrible option, and you don't want any of them starting for your team as a fan. And I'm sorry for you if they are. That's what it boils down to. I'm having fun arguing with you, but end of the day, man, if you got any one of them starting for your team, bye. See you next year.
Dude, bottom line, Tua led the league in passing 3 years ago. It did have, I know that you could say it was all Mike McDaniel. Maybe it was all Tyreek Hill. Like, and as much as Kirk's put up some good numbers, he had Justin Jefferson. You know, he was solid with Washington. He was a different player. He was pretty athletic. You know what I'm saying? Those days are bye-bye for Kirk Cousins. Post-Achilles injury, Kirk Cousins is disgusting, Nico. Who is your number one? What is your number one under you like?
I'm staying in the AFC North, dude. I had a really hard time getting out the AFC North on the unders. Apparently, I hate them all. But Cleveland Browns, 6.5. There's no way.
That's my number one, bro. That's my number one. Hey, wand of trust, baby. Wand of trust. Honestly, 6.5. Yeah.
Rob, I have so much respect for your fan base and the people who follow this pod. If we have to explain to you why the Cleveland Browns will go under 6.5, you either just signed up last week or you weren't fucking listening ever to anything in the NFL ever. Like, I don't have to have a discussion why the Browns are going to be under 6.5, dude. And it's minus 140, which is dumb as shit to me.
Yeah.
That should be plus 140.
Well, it should be 5.5 is the point. This should be over under 5.5. But I think the reason they have it at this number 6.5 is the defense is top 10, borderline top 10, right?
Now their D coordinator who just left.
That's a good call, right? So you lost that, but you have Myles Garrett. You know, Mason Graham, I feel like is a pretty good player.
33?
Yeah, but he's still in his prime. Mason Graham was a good pick. They have the extra draft capital this year from that said Travis Hunter trade, which is insane that the fucking Jaguars did that. But I don't trust them to make the right picks, right? So you have that going on. Like, they're going to take Darnell Tate.
We already established that.
And he's not great, and he's definitely not going to be great in the Browns. Shador's terrible, and their only hope, I know the crazy thing is the hope is Deshaun Watson.
Shador has completely obliterated any relevancy to the fucking Pro Bowl ever. Like, oh, you're a Pro Bowl player. But fuck you, I'm a Pro Bowl player. Rob's a Pro Bowl player. Like, I'm just as good as Shador. Dude, get out of here. That carries no weight with me anymore.
Deshaun is the only hope for this, and I know it seems crazy, but Darth says Deshaun Watson signed that contract and checked out. I mean, for a lot of reasons he checked out, but this is the last year, I think. So, like, this is another contract year, and it'd be wild for me let's say he plays okay and he has 26 touchdowns, 12 picks, and they win 6-7 games. Even with, and he looks good, no team should ever sign Deshaun Watson. Like, that's the point. But in his mind, he's like, I can still get like a $20 million contract. You know, he's got a lot of lawsuits to pay. He's got a lot of lawsuits to pay,
He's
dude.
Malik Willis.
So, like,
he's Malik Willis.
There, you know, every time you look up and it's another chick. He's settling with another massage therapist. That kid is back on the escalator again.
That kid is back on the escalator again. Remarkable. That's criminal. That kid is back on the escalator again. Leave it alone. What?
So 6.5 Browns under, easy money. I actually bet this one. It was minus 140. Yeah. I don't care about the juice.
And
like
Jeff Champion 1149 with your comment, man. I am so sorry you're a Browns fan, dude. I wish somebody reach out to you, extend you an olive branch to a better team that wouldn't hurt you the way that they're going to continue to hurt you. But you apparently are a glutton for punishment, brother.
Browns fans are very loyal though. Ball. So I do respect the Browns fan. Like there's been, I mean, unless you're like 70 and you remember the Jim Brown days, like there has not been any, like Tim Couch, like that was cool for a minute, maybe, like I say a minute, like actual minute. There's not been anything, right? Has there been any like the Baker days were the best. There was you won a playoff game, you beat the shit out of the Steelers, and then you proceeded to give away Baker.
Johnny Manziel gave you a little hope.
Oh my God. So it's been rough. Dude, it's been
that's all I'm saying. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Like, there's plenty of room on the Bears and Niner fan wagon. Like, come through, bro.
Yeah. You know what though? I respect you sticking by your team, and that's something you would do, Nico. I wouldn't do it. As you know, I'm a Bears fan, but I'm not like Big Ray, and I'm not like you in terms of my fandom. I will be out very fast, and I don't ever go all the way back in because I'm not like a bandwagon dude. I never really leave. But I'm more just like, I want to win money and win in fantasy and win in gambling. And like, I will follow my team. I will root for my team. But I would rather have the Bears lose. If I had $1,000 bet on like the Packers, I would rather win my $1,000 and have the Bears lose than if it was the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
That just shows I'm not a Bears fan, right? I'm wearing a jersey.
I don't quite wear it the same way. And mad respect for people who stick with them. Like I had 8-10 years of really bad 49er football. So haven't won a Super Bowl since the 90s. Like
it wasn't Browns bad though. Like
never Browns bad. And that's what I'm saying, man. Like we'll welcome you onto the Niner bandwagon. Right? I'm trying to.
I have an analogy for you. So the Niners bad was equivalent of like, you know, you're in your early 30s. You got married early. You got divorced, and you know you went on some hard times. And you were just seeing a girl for a while that was, 40 pounds overweight, had some acne, but she was a sweetheart, right? She gave you head. It was okay. And your friends liked her. She was fine. She was a 5. The Browns bad is like the same situation. And you have 10 years of like paying for nasty hookers, like not escorts, we're talking hookers, which is the bottom of the barrel. And you have to pay top dollar for these hookers because you're disgusting. And they want like full money from you. That's Browns. You're paying for hookers. Where at least you guys had just a nice little fat chick to hang out with. It wasn't that bad.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to argue with you on that. I'm just saying our Browns fan friend that is messaging on here, I want to extend an olive branch to something a little more okay for you in your life. But, respect if you're going to stay where you're at.
One last point for Jeffrey. Do the Spencer Rattler thing. He's another guy that I actually really like. And I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. He might not even be a starting quarterback.
He's no Tyler Shuck.
Well, we're bringing up Geno and bringing up Tua and Cousins and all this kind of shit. Like, as you know, I'm very high on the Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, Zach Wilson, like those reclamation projects to bring them in to sit for a year, right? Spencer Rattler's a guy you could bring in to start, and he's a younger guy. I mean, he's a third-year guy that's like 26, but that's still pretty young. And but that Saints team was dog shit. And outside of the last 2 games he started with New Orleans last year, he was actually playing very well. And he did beat out Tyler Shuck fair and square in the preseason. That says a lot with how good Shuck did last year. So I would want to like that. Why don't the Browns sign Spencer Rattler? You know what I mean? It's also because they have like 5 quarterbacks in their roster and they still have Dylan Gabriel, who they spent a 3rd round pick on, who's actually the worst on that team. You have Gabriel, you have Deshaun Watson.
I almost put the Saints on my over list this year, but didn't quite make it.
Same, bro. 7.5 seemed
So my
there.
honorable mention, you want to hear it? It's crazy. My honorable mention for the under. Let's get the last one out of the way. I did 4. We haven't overlapped yet. It's the Dolphins at plus 105. Can they get over 4.5?
4.5. Dude, I had them as my honorable mention as well.
Like, I don't know what they can put together. I don't know what they have. But 4.5 is not a lot of wins for plus 105. Like, throw a small amount of money on it, man, and win.
Here's the reason I didn't have it is because they have 2 first rounders, right? They could get some weapons. As of right now, they have Jalen Tolbert, they have Malik Washington, they have
A-Chain.
A-Chain. I'm talking about just their wide receiver crew. They have Greg Dulcich as their tight end. Like, it's a barren wasteland there. You have Malik Willis, the guy that doesn't really need weapons, and they have 2 first rounders, so they could bring in a tight end. They could bring in a Casey Concepcion. And they have the Jets. As I do kind of think the Jets are – I wanted to almost go over on the Jets. But they have the Jets in that division, which could be 2 wins. Or they split. There's 1 win, right? Like, 5 wins is so low to beat this under. Yeah. And I do think there's a decent chance that Malik Willis is very good. When I say very good, like he is a starting quarterback and a starting quarterback plus in the NFL. And if he is that and he stays healthy, they're going to beat this number just based on the fact that they have a dynamic quarterback there.
And with the way their defense is built right now, they can go over 4.5. Now, do they trade Zach Sealer? Do they trade was it Brooks at tight end or linebacker? Like, do they start trading these pieces away for the future? That's a different story. But as of right now, I felt it was worth an honorable mention. That's all.
Yeah, Mallrats is goated. Let's get to a couple questions before we get to our overs. What's your take on Caleb Johnson? Is he worth stashing in Dynasty or give him the boot? Definitely worth don't drop him because it's a new coach there. They drafted Caleb Johnson in the 3rd round. I loved him out of Iowa. Mouth loves Caleb Johnson, so he will tell you to hold on to him. He's a monster of a man. The depth chart's wonky because you have Rico Dowdle and Jalen Warren. And as much as I love Rico Dowdle, like, it's not an unattainable depth chart, right? It's not unattainable for him to carve a role in. And this is Dynasty, right? Like, this year, the hope is minimal. But also injury away, and like he just needs a shot. He was not given a shot last year. He got benched because of a kick return, guys. It wasn't because he wasn't, performing on the field. The preseason was rough, but like a kick return, that wasn't even his primary position. He didn't return kicks in college. Like, I don't know what Mike Tomlin's doing. He set that kid up to fail. I don't know if that dude fucked Mike Tomlin's wife or something, but it was like the opposite of Taysom Hill, right? Why was Taysom Hill getting all these opportunities with Sean Payton? Why was Caleb Johnson getting no opportunities as a rookie? And that also probably had to do with Aaron Rodgers, who hates rookies. And he loves Jalen Warren, and he loves Kenneth Gainwell, right? Loved him.
And you don't know if Rodgers is coming back. Pittsburgh is in flux right now. I wouldn't move on from Caleb, but I wouldn't count on him for anything this year. So if you can leave him on the end of your roster, absolutely fucking do that. For the future, upside is really high. But if you're counting on him to contribute this year, that's a problem.
Also, follow the money. Jalen Warren is not the mark of health. And follow the money with Rico Dowdle. It was like a 2-year, $12 million deal. It's not like he got this massive contract, and he's an older running back.
He's a 1-year dude.
Yeah, so it's not unattainable, I guess.
He'll be gone next year. Aaron Rodgers will be gone next year. They'll go 9 wins to be over 500. They'll lose in the first round of the playoffs and do the same shit Pittsburgh's done their whole fucking lives.
100%. All right, I have to grab a beer. I'm going to play a clip here, and then we are going to get to our overs.
Hi, Forrest. I know you just got back from Vietnam and you love me, but I'm going to go run a train with this group of Black Panthers I just met.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. I know you came all this way to New York to visit me, but I'm going to go do blow and have sex with a bunch of stockbrokers.
Okay, Jenny.
Hi, Forrest. Now that I have the most contagious and incurable disease known to mankind, I'll finally have pity sex with you.
Okay, Jenny. And I'll mow the grass and raise the AIDS, baby.
Oh, we're almost both gone. All righty. Sorry, I got one more brewski here. Again, guys, tomorrow, 10 p.m. Central, me and Mouth doing a deep dive on running backs for the 2026 NFL draft. You don't want to miss that one. It's going to be a great show. All right, buddy. You ready to go to our overs we have here?
Yeah, man. I got about 17 minutes left in me, I think.
That's what I figured. I figured I'd get you 2 hours so we can pound through these, and I'll get questions after you leave. Give me your number one over you like.
Ooh, my number one over I like. The Buffalo Bills. I am not going to sleep on Josh Allen. I am not going to sleep on the fact that Joe Brady is very close to what he already has as offensive coordinator. That offense is going to stay legit. Their offense is going to get another step forward. Minus 130, easy money to me in that division. Miami's garbage. Jets are garbage.
Buffalo Bills, number one on mine too.
Yeah, there's a reason. There's a reason we're on this shit together, brother. We know. The unders, the overs, the number ones. We're gonna vary a little, right? We gotta have our conversations, but there's no way the Bills don't get 11 wins.
Yeah, the fact that they're a whole win lower than the Ravens, and like the Patriots scream regression team to me based on the fact that, you know, they didn't get much better. If anything, losing stuff on Diggs, like I think Diggs and Dubs are even. They didn't get better there. Yes, they might get AJ Brown, but Drake May is due for regression. Their schedule was so easy last year. You saw that the way they went through the playoffs also got some breaks there. And they're due for regression. You also have 4 games against the aforementioned Jets and fucking Dolphins.
Yep.
So, like, that's 4 wins. That
gimmies.
is 4 wins right there.
Gimmies.
So you're already 4-0, and then let's say they split with the Patriots, which is pretty fair. 5-1 in the division. So you need 6 more wins. You need 6. You need to go 6-5 the rest of the way.
Yeah. And that is not a hard thing to do with that offense, with the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion.
And Josh Allen played the last 6 weeks with a broken foot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, that's a fact. Like he does do those things.
So I love the Purdy odds for MVP, and I don't know what they are for Allen, but shit, man, I think Allen's got a really good shot at MVP this year too. He's been the focal point of that offense. He's got 4 gimme games where he's going to blow the other team up, and I don't know, man. I'm all in. I love it. I don't think we have to explain it. If we have to explain it, like you haven't been paying attention to football.
That one just seems like a gimme to me, and just based on the Jets and Dolphins, like that alone, 2 teams that are rebuilding that are going to be going for that potential lottery, that awesome quarterback class in 2027. They're not going to, you know, and it's not even just Arch Man. There's a bunch of these guys. It's a great quarterback class, and that just seems automatic for me. Who is your number 2?
My number 2, man. If you paid attention the last couple times I was on the pod, you would know this. It's the Tennessee Titans, brother. I am so in on the Titans. 6.5 feels super low for that division. Robert Saleh came in and made a massive difference on that defense with the New York Jets. Defense alone can win you 4, 5, 6, half your fucking games potentially. And I'm counting on them drafting Love. I'm counting on them playing defense, running the ball, and having a difference maker there. I love Ward. I think Daboll loves Ward. I think that's the whole reason he came there. So Salah's a defensive-minded head coach. He's put in a very, very strong offensive coordinator in there that will be able to handle his own game and do his own thing. I like Io Manor. I've been a Ridley fan forever. They don't have a tight end. I'm with you on that, but they're a couple pieces away from being a 8 or 9 win team. I feel like that's 6.5 is such an easy over to take with Tennessee, personally.
And it's kind of a wonky division because if you take them out of it, there's 3 good teams. Potential good teams.
You started with one good year. You got Indy with janky ass Daniel Dimes. Like, I don't know.
Well, you have Indy who all they did in free agency besides lose a bunch of pieces was pay a bunch of money for 2 players they already had. Yeah. And one's coming off an Achilles and Daniel Jones. His name's Daniel Jones. And the other one's Alec Pierce, who they had last year as an ancillary piece. And I do love Josh Downs. I love Tyler Warren. I like some of the pieces. Their defense is slowly deteriorating, right? And like Sauce Gardner he's also bad at football.
But their linebackers are gone.
Yeah. So the division isn't it's not the NFC North. It's not the NFC West. It's not the AFC West. It's not that. Like they could beat all of these teams. They're gonna have a fourth place schedule. I like Cam Ward. I like the offensive coordinator. I like the defensive coordinator. I don't know who the head coach is there. It is Robert Saleh, but it's gonna be Robert Saleh / Brian Daboll. Two below average head coaches equal one good head coach. But I know they're both good coordinators. And I like Cam Ward, and I think they have enough draft capital to turn this bitch around. 6.5. I was close. It was almost on the honorable mentions for me. Definitely. It was close. My number 2 is the Cincinnati Bengals. 9.5.
That's my 3, brother.
All right. They're plus 100 too, which is nice. And I don't really have a lot of reasons for this besides the fact that I like they have the 10th pick in the draft, which is okay. They could get Caleb Downs there. They can get a difference-making, defensive player there if it's not Caleb Downs, or they get a lead offensive line prospect. This is Joe Burrow's health, right? If Joe Burrow stays healthy, it's just been a nightmare situation year after year for the Bengals. And I love Joey B. I love Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is hurt. Maybe he stays healthy.
That offense stays healthy. There's no way they don't get 10 wins. I don't give a shit.
In that division, the Browns are in that division. I know the Browns always playing really tough, but the Steelers are just always mediocre, and the Ravens, 11.5 is really high.
I'm not. Everybody in that division has a brand new coach besides Cincinnati, right? Continuity is a thing in the NFL. From one season to the next. And that offense in Cincinnati is enough to get over that. I don't even need their defense to lean on shit. I love in Cincinnati. It was hard for me not to put them 2, but I'm being a Titans truther. I love me some Robert Saleh. The overs were so easy for me in this. The unders were tough, but full on, dude. Love the Bengals over. The Bengals and the Titans and the Bills over. Put that in a parlay, cash your money at the end of the year.
Plus 100 is super nice too. You're getting even odds.
My honorable mention is plus 125. You want to guess who my over is? That's plus 125.
No, that's just really broad. No, just tell me.
I'll give you a hint. The other Rob, the OG Rob, besides you, would be proud.
Cardinals. I got it. Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 4.5?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I get down on that one too, man. That's now you have the division, so they're probably gonna go 0-6 in the division.
That's I get you. That's a really tough division. But look at that roster. On paper, that is a solid roster, dude, for 4.5. You got Wilson, you got Harrison, they brought Kendrick Bourne in, you got Trey McBride, you got Algier, you got Connor, you got Brisket. Brisket's won games, man. I'm not sleeping on him. And then you got Minshew there, and then you go on the defensive side of the ball, and there's a couple guys. They are a sneaky good roster. They're going to run that Kyle Shanahan, Mike LaFleur, McVay, all of that whole branch, dude. They're going to run that offense, and they're going to understand the Niners defense and the Rams defense. They're going to understand how to defend them because that's their offense too. They came from that same tree. Dude, Arizona's a great sleeper team. I wanted to take the under, and then I looked at their roster and I was like, holy shit. These guys got a squad. All right, I'm over, dude. I was convinced looking at the roster on the over 4.5 all day.
And this is a full year. Now you have going into the year, you got the smog of Kyler Murray out of that stink of Kyler Murray, which, I don't feel like the players liked him. I don't think the coaching staff liked him. I don't think the fans liked him. He didn't even want to be there. He didn't want to play football, all that shit. Also, his play wasn't very good post ACL injury a couple years ago. So now you just have a clean slate, and it's going to be very. What I like about some of these teams that are that low is it's pressure-free football. There's no pressure in week 1. There's no pressure in week 8. You're not doing shit this year. So the tanking is the only worry. but there's 5 or 6, at least 4 really good quarterback prospects. If that's where we're going to go, they might draft Ty Simpson, and then the tanking won't even be there because they might have their quarterback of the future already if they get him at like 26 in the draft. But man, they have a lot of draft capital too, so they can improve this roster even more. Like you said, it's a good roster. Definitely a good roster on the offensive side of the ball.
It is. That offensive side of the ball is nasty, dude. And that's 4 or 5 wins all day for me. So I'm gonna shoot my shot. It's gross and I don't like it, but I'm gonna shoot my shot.
Well, and you're getting plus 125. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what you could also do, which might even be tastier, is over 5.5. If you really like them, there's probably gonna be plus 200, 2-to-1 odds for 6 wins. Like if you want to just have some value there. Or if you want to go over 3.5, it'd be like minus 170, minus 160. That could be some that's almost like automatic money. 4 wins. Like that's a really bad season. That's still going to get you the 3rd or 4th pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And this offense is too good. All right, my number 3, I could almost go with every one of these. Everyone, I have an honorable mention too, but I could go with every one of these teams in the NFC South. But who do you think it is? Who do you think I'm going over besides knowing the numbers? Who do you think I'm going over in the NFC South?
I wanted to go over on the Saints. They got hot at the end of the year. They had a few pieces, whatever. Carolina obviously moved on, and they didn't lose anything. So the fact that if they can add through the draft, I think it's time. I think you're taking Carolina.
I am not. I'm taking the Bucks, man. And they're minus 105.
Okay.
So the way the NFC South is shaking down, they're 8.5. Yeah. Minus 105. The way that the division is shaking out, it's kind of how it was last year, right? And last couple of years, that was the division. There was an under 500 team that won in the past. You have the Falcons at 7.5. You have the Panthers at 7.5. You have the Buccaneers at 8.5, and you have the Saints at 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all at 8 wins, right?
Yep.
I'm betting as much as I hate Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles is garbage. I think he's a bad head coach. I think defensive coordinator wise, he's kind of lost his touch a little bit. But 8.5, I'm betting on Baker. And last year, I know Mike Evans is gonna hurt, as you know. So you're gonna love that there in San Fran. Betting on Baker, and it's been health, right? These years that it struggled, like look at the last year in Cleveland, had the fucking shoulder injury. Like, look at last year. Baker was hurt the last half of the year. And the thing is, he plays so reckless that he's probably going to get hurt again. And he plays with his injuries, like, to a detriment to himself and the team. But over 8.5 in this weak division, I like the talents. I like the team. The defense needs a rehaul, a little rehaul for sure. Overhaul. But 8.5 seems like money to me for the Bucks. 9 wins. Someone's going to win 9 or 10 in this division. And, like, I like the Saints, but I'm not sold on them. The Panthers I do like as an up-and-coming team, but they have Bryce Young, not sold on them. And the Falcons have probably the best roster in the division, but they have Tua and fucking Michael Penix coming off an injury who hasn't proven shit.
Those quarterbacks are hot garbage. That's the worst team in the division to me.
So who's the best? Who's the best quarterback in the division? It's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what it comes down to.
You got Aguka, who showed out last year. You got Otten coming back at tight end. You still got shit. I haven't told the brain fart.
Jalen McMillan.
No,
he's good.
No, not Evans left, but Godwin. You still got Godwin, right?
Yeah.
So I'm in, dude. I'm with you. I like Tampa. I like Tampa in that division. But the fact that they struggled so much last year and then they lost Evans, like, it makes me a little concerned because they shouldn't have struggled with the weapons that they had last year. They should have had a better year. And the fact that
everyone was hurt. Godwin came in hurt and then missed games, got re-injured, re-aggravated that
you got other receivers.
Bucky missed a bunch of time last year, though. Mike Evans missed a large chunk of the season. Ibuka was playing hurt the entire year. Like, and Baker was hurt the second half of the year. So everyone was injured.
Yeah, you can't bet on injury. So I'm with you. I love it. I like it. I'm in.
Miles says your poo is consistent if you have the runs. Doesn't mean it isn't consistent. It isn't a consistent stream of shit. That's the same idea as Zach Taylor staying as head coach. Zach Taylor's bad. And then I guess we didn't touch on this when we were talking about the Bengals.
I took the over because you got consistency man.
But he's been there for far too long, and it's like
he should have been fired. He should have been the first coach fired in that division, in my opinion, but he wasn't.
Well, you know how we talked about the Sirianni thing. It's like, how long does a Super Bowl championship buy you a job? Apparently, Zach Taylor, a Super Bowl appearance has made him last 6 years. Like, what are we doing here? And I think he's an okay coach, as in, like, I would rank him like 17 to 22. Is that about fair?
Yep.
But 17 to 22 shouldn't be one of the longest tenured coaches in the league.
Nope.
And, you know,
Not
I think
even
what they're
close.
thinking of is he's still a younger coach that you could grow with. And Joe Burrow must love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Joe Burrow must love him.
Burrow's
And
running
that's enough
that
to keep
team
him
at this
around.
point. That
There it
is
is.
good. Burrow's running.
I mean, think
that
about
team.
it. They gave T. Higgins all that money, and like that was because Joe Burrow wanted to. And as much as T. Higgins is a very good real life player, he doesn't stay healthy, and it wasn't a good management of that money. I know that the salary cap's kind of a joke in the NFL, but like they have issues on defense. They need to sign defensive players, and like that was Joe Burrow saying like I want T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. This might be Joe Burrow saying I want Zach Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my take on it, because there's no reason Zach Taylor should have a job.
But the offense is going to light the world on fire, and they're going to get the over.
Yeah, in spite of Zach Taylor. All right, so I have an honorable mention. Thank you, Mouth. We appreciate you, dude. Can't wait for tomorrow's show. Guys, tomorrow's 10 p.m. Central. Me and Mouth diving deep into the running backs, his top 10 for the 2026 draft. We're diving into all these guys very deep, kind of as deep as Mike Vrabel dives into Diana Versini. Woo! I'm still going there, buddy. My honorable mention, this one I didn't bet, and I just want to kind of hear what you think about this one, because it's weird. It's the Washington Commanders, 7.5. It's minus 125, so it's not too juiced. You don't like it?
Man, I'm out. I don't think they're going to do shit. I don't think they got enough weapons. I like Jaden, but there's nothing there worth a shit outside of him, in my opinion. The defense is okay. I put them at 5 or 6 wins in that division.
But were they good? Was the team really that good when they went to the NFC Championship game? Like, it really wasn't that good.
No.
But how did that happen? I'm saying, how did that happen?
That's a fluke-ass year, dude, and it's not going to happen again. Like,
right.
That's awesome.
But this is 7.5 wins. This is an 8 wins. 8 wins gets the over. That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
8 and 9 is a bad year.
Dude, Philly still has enough pieces. Dallas is up and coming, I like to think, right? They got a solid ass offense. I think they're going to upgrade their defense. And then the Giants, you got Harbaugh, who I don't think get to 8 wins, but I think they get more than 4. So I don't see it in that division.
That's why it's an honorable mention. I kind of want to talk it out, because I think there is some hope. Just based on what I said about 2 years ago, how did they have that season and then in the playoff, the success? They beat the shit out of the fucking Lions. I know the Lions are banged up on defense, but they hung 48 points in the Lions in the playoffs in Detroit.
That's gross.
So Jaden Daniels alone, if he stays healthy, I feel like he gets this over. I really do.
Dude, you saw Stroud in his rookie year. Just bang, man. Just run that division. And then nothing after. And I think that's where Jaden's at until he shows me otherwise. I think that's where he's at.
I see the comparison, but CJ Stroud was very efficient as a rookie, and they did the same thing they've done every other year. They won a playoff game. Whoop-de-doo in a bad division. Like, Jaden Daniels took this team to an NFC championship game, dude. Like, that's way different than anything CJ Stroud's done, and it was because of Jaden Daniels. Their success in Houston has never been because of CJ Stroud. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But we got to see, and like I said earlier, they only have a first and a third round pick in this draft. I mean, they have late picks, but they don't have a second and a fourth round pick. They do have the 7th pick. So you got to see what they do with that 7th pick. That's a huge pick for them. I think they should trade back. Personally, they need to go back to 18, go back to 12, then go back to 18, get yourself a couple third round picks, build this defense. Defense is old.
Second, man, shit.
Yeah. So I'm not betting this one, like I said. It's just something I'm keeping an eye on. And this could be one that goes, I don't think it goes on to 6.5, but maybe that 7.5 goes to like plus 100. Because I think a lot of people are out on the Commanders and Dan Quinn, who I think Dan Quinn's terrible. So that's my worry also. I'm not betting this because I'm not betting anything tied to Dan Quinn and his backwards fucking hat. Fuck you, Dan Quinn. The Dan Quinn.
You guys, I'm leaving. Going to bed.
Yeah, you do. You have to wake up early. All right, Nico, great segment, great show. As always, glad to have you back, man. And we'll have you back post-draft, and we can actually start talking about less hypotheticals, and we're going to have most of these things set in stone, roster. We can talk about all that kind of stuff for the upcoming year.
Oh, man, it's fun. It's good stuff. I love y'all. I love the supporters, man. Y'all, seriously, keep getting after Rob. This dude is a boss. So mad support. He deserves it. I love him. He's a baller in this game, man. I'm just here to chime in. I'm just here to throw a little whoop-de-whoop up to him, man. But it is he's the OG. He's the one with it all, man. The mastermind, the man with the plan, the pinky in the brain, right? Like this motherfucker's got this shit.
That reminds me of that one show. I think it was one of our last shows 2 years ago on the program that you gave me it was almost like a eulogy, but I was alive about how great I am in terms of like putting the show together and all the work I put in and just like how much I know ball. It was almost like too much. It was like love bombing. Sitting here like,
man,
I got a boner, bro.
It's all, dude. I know my shit. Like I don't play. Like I am so fucking hard in all of this. And the fact that like you and Tom smoke me and Storey with his college smokes me, man. But I want to hold my own with Storey in the NFL still. I'm not saying Storey beats me in the NFL, but Storey beats me in college. But you, dude, honestly, you and Tom, like y'all are on point. I love y'all. Yeah, it's such a great time arguing with you all. And we got our points, dude. We got our sides, and we don't have to agree. Ain't no point. And everybody agrees, man. That's some bullshit. So I love it.
Well, what did we agree on? We agreed on Bengals. We agreed on Bills over Bills over Bengals. We agreed on under Browns. So we had 3 out of 6.
50-50.
That we had half of them when there was 32 options. So that we see eye to eye on those things. Anyway, I'm really happy to have Nico back in the program. Also, Tom TD will be on once a week once the season gets closer. So we're getting 2 stalwarts and all-time epic dudes in the rotation as co-host, which is going to make this show even better, make me even better, and super excited about that, man.
Appreciate you, brother. So the little bit of news that don't matter to like 99% of people. My home league, dude. I gotta fill a spot. I got a quitter, and I talked to Tom. Yeah. We got a guy that we used to have in my crazy league, and he's gonna reach out to him. But is Galloway on tonight? Because Galloway might want to get in, man.
Get Galloway in. I'll text him. I'll get him in. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll fill that spot. It's one spot. Fill that spot in a heartbeat. I would ask the community members. We have enough Fanatics leagues to fill up. Already, but worst case scenario, we'll get someone from here. Sure.
No, I got one dude in mind. Yeah, I gotta wait for TD. See if this dude's in or not. If he's not in, we're gonna go Galloway.
Yeah. All right. Well, if we don't go Galloway, we'll get somebody else. So.
Where you at?
No, he's not on. But I'll text him.
All right.
I'll get
Good
him.
stuff, brother.
All right, buddy. Get out of here. Get some sleep, man. Appreciate you. All right. And into the last couple comments here, and I'm out of here. Again, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Central, me and Mouth talking running backs for the 2026 NFL Draft. Let's see. CJ Stroud don't have an offensive line to save his life. At least the Commanders have that. That's true, but the performance from CJ Stroud, let me get him off here. Let's see. Kick from studio. All right. The performance that Stroud had last year, he just has regressed in every way. And the offensive line was bad his rookie year. It's been bad every year. And I still have some hope for CJ Stroud, not for fantasy, but for real life. I do have some hope for him, but it's Jaden Daniels is a difference maker. CJ Stroud's not. And mark my words, I see CJ Stroud once Matthew Stafford retires and going to the Rams. Now, that would be lovely because CJ Stroud is still 24 years old, guys. He'll be 25 when the season starts. That is super young, and he's super battle-tested and experienced, not to mention in college, Ohio State, played a lot of big games, and then he's had 3 different playoff appearances and won a game in all 3 of those seasons. So what's funny is CJ Stroud has 3 times as many playoff wins as Dak Prescott and 3 times as many playoff wins as Kirk Cousins. So, again, I think Dak Prescott's a much better quarterback than CJ Stroud. But playoff wins are playoff wins, man. So I don't want to shit on CJ Stroud too much. Burrow hates Taylor. Well, I was just like kind of guessing that he loved him because why is Zach Taylor there? But also the Bengals are really cheap, and maybe that's it. The Bengals are so cheap they don't like paying for players, so they're definitely not going to fire their coach and pay for a head coach that's not coaching the team. That might be the answer, Miles. So thank you for that comment. I think that's the answer. Tyson to the Commanders. That would be the 7th pick. I think they could trade back to get him, but that I would love that. They need somebody. And Brandon Ayuk, you could still bring in Brandon Ayuk, right? Like that would be fine. If you draft Tyson, if you draft Lemon, if you draft Tate, whatever it is, you can still bring in Brandon Ayuk because you need a third receiver. Also, Stowers to the Commanders, and he's an instant start. And that's perfect because they have Chickaconquo there. Now, the problem is Chickaconquo and Stowers are similar undersized move tight ends, but why not get another awesome tight end weapon there? And I'm down with that because Ben Sinnott could be your kind of inline guy, and good call. Really, really good call there. So I like all those things for that team. All right, gentlemen, that is it for me. We're caught up in the chat. There's only like 4 people in here, so I want any quarterback. Give me Will Levis, and I'll be happy, dude. Will Levis deserves a shot, Jeffrey. I also think Anthony Richardson definitely deserves a shot, not to start this year, to get in a new destination and have a fresh start and work and start over, right? And like just marinate. Learn an offense under an elite offensive mind. It doesn't have to be the best off. It doesn't have to be the Niners or the Packers. It can be, anyone that's not where he's at. I'm not saying I hate the situation there in Indy, but I just think that is over with there. And they've clearly moved on. So they need to move on from him as well. Take a 4th round pick, take a 5th round pick. That's fine. All right, guys, that's it for me. One more shout out to the Patreon bros. Any last comments, get them in and I will answer them. Shout out to the Patreon bros. Again, guys, we have 1 spot left for the Dynasty. We also have a couple leagues left for redraft that are wide open. If you want to get into some of the redraft leagues and the community leagues with us, appreciate that. And just also your support. Everyone that does support me, appreciate that. Beyond just that, there's a lot of different shit you guys get, boys. A lot of different shit. So go to the website, go to the link in the description, hop in there and get in the Discord tonight. We can chat about all those kind of things. Also, I do want to shout out Bobby Petrino for looking like a fucking clown. Hey, Bobby, how you doing? You look great today. He looks wackier than Helen Hunt, man. This would be a good marriage right here. Bobby Petrino and Helen Hunt. Let's do that. Let's get that going. All right. I think that's it. Also, check out Downtown Sports, guys. Link in the description there. Appreciate you, Peasy. Hey, Davis Mills is not bad. I think Davis Mills is a pretty elite backup. And he actually played as well as CJ Stroud last year. Now it was starting to fade before Stroud came back, but he had a 3-game stretch that was pretty fucking good. I mean, he's the reason they saved their season when Stroud was hurt. So Davis Mills, and I wasn't on the side of like, let's start Davis Mills over CJ Stroud. That's silly. But Davis Mills is a top 30, 35 quarterback in the league. Love fantasy projection, full PPR. I mean, he has everything you'd want. And the more I've been thinking about it, I think a good player comp for Jeremiah Love is a bigger Reggie Bush. And as much as Reggie Bush got a lot of hate as a bust in the NFL draft, that's because of all the hype. Reggie Bush was a great fantasy asset and a pretty darn good player. And he's a better than Reggie Bush because he's obviously much bigger. But that level of playmaking skill, that level of receiver with a better 3-down skill set and more powerful. I think that's my comp for Jeremiah Love, which is he's going to be a better fantasy player than he is real life player. And I think he's a darn good real life prospect. He's less than Jahmyr Gibbs. I think I like Gibbs as a prospect more. I think Love has more receiving chops, but he's a better prospect than Ashton Genty. So he's between Genty and between Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, he's not Bijan level. That's an elite prospect, Adrian Peterson, those guys. But he's in that mold. I want to say can't miss. So in terms of fantasy, I see a guy that could have, 240 carries with 60 catches on a regular basis, 300 touches. He won't be that traditional bell cow because he's only 205 pounds. He's not going to have the 350 touch seasons. And they shouldn't give him that. But he's going to be a guy where it's like less is more, similar to what Gibbs has, right? And he's capable of handling the load, which so is Gibbs. You saw the times where Montgomery was out. We'll see how it plays out this year with Gibbs without Montgomery, but he can handle 28 touches a game, but you can't give it to him all season long. So I do love as a fantasy projection, prospect, all those things. Got to see where he lands, though. But I think every landing spot is fine because like you're drafting a guy top 5, top 7, top 8. There ain't no way you're not overusing this guy. Every rookie running back gets drafted that high is going to be used and abused. So you mix the volume with the skill set, the explosiveness, the dynamic playmaking, and you're going to get fantasy gold. Now this year for fantasy for 1 year, it's to say it goes to the Titans. If he's going to be picked ahead of Saquon Barkley, I'm not on board with that. I'm taking Saquon Barkley. A Marion Hampton, if they don't bring anyone else in, I'm taking a Marion Hampton. But right in that level, right in that range, like mid-second round is super fair. And there's a lot more upside there with Love because the unknown and people are going to be enamored by that and probably overdraft him. That's the worry. But long-term, love the kid. Love the kid. And he's a can't miss if there ever was one at the running back position. All right, gentlemen. Appreciate everybody. Thank you, Mal, for the supers. And again, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Central, Downtown Fanatics on this program, running back deep dive for the 2026 NFL Draft. So we'll go really deep into Jeremiah Love, Jarian Price, the top 10 guys, and maybe talk about some sleepers we like. So look forward to that. Look forward to Mouth. We're going to be on pretty much every day for the next 2 weeks. Thursday, we have the Chaz coming on. We're going to do some underdog best ball drafts as well as answering your questions. Friday, Storey is on for deep gems of the draft. Saturday, Big Ray is on for the open bar show. Sunday, Story's back. We have just 5 guests, 5 different days, bonanza around here. So tune into those. We appreciate you guys. I'll see you all tomorrow night. Love your life. Stay positive and respect each other. I am out of here.
You just seem like a good dude. I thought I'd see if you want to grab a beer, that's all. I'm glad you called. We get home safe, Pistol.
You got it, Jobin.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Oh, what'd you say?
I don't know. You nicknamed me Pistol, and I just called you Jobin. It means nothing. I'm drunk. I'm gonna call a cab.
All right, man. You have my number, yeah?
I got you stored in my iPhone.
All right.